Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wrestling Rundown, episode 22. So this isn't really a special episode because it's only the 22nd episode, just a plain old regular Wrestling Rundown episode.
22nd episode.
But there is something special about this episode, making his grand return on the channel in like a month because he's got too many important things to do. Let's have him introduce himself. I don't even need to introduce him.
it's the champ.
Yeah.
The champ, the champione. Me.
Yeah.
You can see my goddamn name. You don't need to worry about me.
Yeah, it says it on the
location.
You don't even know. You never even beat me in the best of 3 series. You just tied. I defeated you the first match, and then you tied the other 2 matches. You like barely. You barely survived. You would have lost at Evolution if you had shown up for the predictions, and you knew that was going to happen, and you didn't even show up.
Exactly.
So that's why.
I'm the champion, and I show up whenever I want.
I think it was last week. We're gonna do another best of 3 series because me and Chris are the only ones that are on the show.
We were gonna do the next pay-per-view, but you pushed it up.
Well, I pushed it up because I'm not wasting one of the best of 3 matches on a nothing pay-per-view like TLC. That's nothing.
That's nothing.
You only do
that at Starrcade.
Huh?
We could have done it at Starrcade.
Well, the WWE thought that was nothing. They only aired an hour of that show. We didn't even know what matches were going to be on the show. How could we?
I went through it. I didn't watch it live. I watched it today in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was only
probably 5.
It was only we're gonna talk about that right now. How do you like? So they like to air like full shows in Saudi Arabia that nobody wants, but everybody like loves Starrcade and like, nope, you only get an hour of this. They're just like
you wanted the whole show? Nah.
Yeah, that was a WWE main roster now right there. That's what we call that.
And they weren't even in order either.
No, it was like what?
The 8-woman tag went first, and then they had like 7 other matches or 6 other matches, and then it was the Rey Mysterio versus Nakamura match.
Yeah. That's weird. We'll get into that.
Did they have back-to-back steel cage matches?
Yeah, they did.
The fuck?
Who has a back-to-back steel cage match? Oh wait, that's TNA Lockdown. Any time of the year. Because remember, every match in TNA Lockdown had to be inside a steel cage for some reason.
AJ won by submission, and Seth won by fucking escaping the cage. Why couldn't AJ escape the cage? Because that's a steel cage match.
Yeah, we'll get into that when we talk about the show.
And it's not even in North Carolina.
Yeah, it was in Columbus, Ohio.
It was in fucking Ohio, Cincinnati.
But yeah, we'll get into that. I forget, but yeah, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, but we're not wasting best of 3 matches on nothing pay-per-views because these got to be big deals. These got to be at the big boys shows.
The big boys.
So
the big mans.
So we're gonna have our best of 3 matches at NXT UK Takeover, Blackpool, I think it's called.
Pretty excited about that.
Yep. NXT Takeover, I think it's Phoenix, wherever the Royal Rumble is.
Yeah.
And then obviously the Royal Rumble. Well, and we did agree that the last match of the best of 3 has to be a win. No ties. You don't do ties in the best of 3 series. Like
we'll just keep going on.
Yeah. And then obviously
even if it has to carry over into like Raw or something, like keep it going.
What, you just champ forever and just defend the belt forever in best of 3 matches?
Like we keep having a predict off until like someone wins. That'd be stupid.
I know, right? That's probably gonna end up with
like opening segments. Whoever predicts it right wins the championship.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be an NXT UK Takeover Blackpool, NXT Takeover Phoenix, and Royal Rumble, and hopefully
we'll have a winner by then. Probably we should,
because it's
pretty making the same matches.
It's pretty hard to have a tie at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. So
I think the thing that would be the tiebreaker is if someone picked the winner.
Yeah.
So we each pick 2, like we've done in the past. Like each pick 2, but then like if your person wins, you win the championship.
Exactly. But yeah, we now that we've announced that, let's talk about the.
Is the Royal Rumble last in that trilogy?
Yeah, it is.
I was gonna say that wouldn't make any sense if
It's
that was the last match in the trilogy.
it's NXT UK Takeover Blackpool, then NXT Takeover Phoenix, and then it's
Okay,
Royal Rumble.
right. That makes sense.
That and they're all close together too, because
When's UK Takeover?
January 12th. It's probably going to be at like 3 o'clock because it's going to be taking place live, and I think you know they I think their 8 o'clocks are no
Yeah,
wait, I'm sorry.
it's like 8 o'clock over there.
Yeah,
But like when we had to get up at like 5 in the morning to watch the Australia show,
yeah.
it was like 10 o'clock in Australia.
Have you decided if you're
Like
hosting?
UK.
Have you decided if you're hosting Takeover Blackpool yet?
I'm up in the air, but I probably will because
Yeah,
it's
you gotta hope.
a new thing.
You but and I'm gonna announce it right here, and I'm gonna announce it 2 weeks from today. On this show, well, not today. Whenever we do the show again in 2 weeks, we're gonna do some NXT UK talk, so that way we can you know
I gotta
that
catch
way
up.
we can have some video documentation of Chris talking about that stuff because
I haven't watched it since the first episode. So I gotta,
you didn't even finish the first episode. You walked away and ran away. You ran
I
away
watched the
from it.
first half of the first episode.
I think it was so good you got so scared of it or something like that.
I was petrified.
You were like, no, this cannot be this good. I have to take a break.
This is not good.
No, you said it's too good.
Not good enough.
you,
I need to get away from it.
you wanted more.
I wanted less and I got more.
Yeah. All right, but let's get to because we got so much stuff to talk about because we're always the last show on planet Earth to review the
To
shows.
review anything.
Yeah. So, I have a feeling I was gonna say like we need to make this a New Year's resolution, but if we do, then we won't end up doing it because that happens. Everyone will make a New Year's resolution, and then no one ever sticks to their New Year's resolution.
That'll be us.
Yeah, we'll make it our New Year's resolution, and then we'll probably like not stick to it within like a couple of weeks or something like that.
We'll get rid of it.
That's what,
Like a fucking retro wrestling review series.
no, it's not completely canned yet. That will come back next year, hopefully.
Oh, maybe.
I said hopefully. Yeah.
You say next year, and the next year happens, and it doesn't happen.
Well, that's why I said. That's why I said hopefully.
So no.
I hope so. Like we just have to find good times for everybody's schedules. That's all.
It's impossible to do it now, pretty much.
We're gonna make it happen. It's not impossible.
It's impossible because no one's at the freaking school anymore. We can't do it anyway at the school because something happened a year ago. Jesus Christ, that was a year ago.
We'll make it. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it work.
Because something that happened a year ago. Remember that thing that we're being super non-descriptive about?
Yeah. We can make it work because
Not even a year ago. It wasn't a year ago.
it was months ago.
It was like in the springtime.
We're gonna
A year ago.
we're gonna make it work.
No, we're not.
Yes, we will.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we will.
Quit.
You're out of here.
I'm gonna quit.
The Retro Wrestling Review series or just everything?
Life.
Oh, I guess you're done. Does you want to do like a farewell speech?
Hi.
That's a great farewell speech.
Fantastic.
Did you know, by the way, randomly, somehow I have a Facebook group that's called Hi.
I wouldn't doubt that for a second.
I think I originally called it something else, but then changed it to Hi for some reason.
It's probably Hi. You probably named it Hi, and then you said, "I'm just gonna keep naming it Hi."
Yeah, I'll invite you to it like after we do the show. All right, we're like completely off topic, so We're not even on topic of wrestling. We're really doing really bad right now. So let's get back on topic before we get off topic again. All right, we're gonna start off with NXT Takeover War Games 2 because they've had two of them. They had one last year, one this year. So that's why it's called NXT Takeover War Games 2. It's not like they had three of them and they're still calling it NXT Takeover War Games 2. Does that make sense, Chris, or did I not explain it enough? I guess it makes sense because he didn't respond. So we're gonna start off. We're gonna start off by talking about this week's NXT, since technically those matches aired in the dog matches of this show. So makes sense to start that off that way. For the commentary, huh?
About NXT.
Yes.
That happened that I didn't watch.
So you could just give I'll just give my quick thoughts on that. Obviously, we had the commentary team of Nigel McGuinness, Percy Watson, and then we turn in Mauro Ranallo, which was awesome because he was definitely missed on NXT when he wasn't there. So
isn't Vic Joseph the one who takes over when he's not there?
Yeah, pretty much. I think pretty much Vic Joseph is just told, yeah, you're just gonna take over while he's gone, and I mean Vic Joseph is definitely improved, but he's just known more Ranallo, so.
Yeah, that's very true.
I mean, I like Vic Joseph on commentary as well. So, although he's good when he has when he has Triple H behind his ear, he's really good. But when he has Vince behind his ear, he's really but really anybody who has Vince behind the ear is really bad on commentary. So.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like.
Including the one that we listen to on Monday nights.
Biggest example: Michael Cole on Monday Night Raw. Really bad on commentary. Michael Cole, like anywhere where Triple H is in his ear, really good on commentary. So
interesting.
I'm just saying.
Indeed.
Just saying. Go watch the Mae Young Classics and the first NXT UK Championship tournament. Michael Cole, really good.
Michael Cole, really bad.
Michael Cole, yeah. Michael Cole, really bad on the main roster, really good. Anywhere else. Anywhere else. So yeah, let's get. But it was definitely awesome to see Mauro Ranallo back because it was really fresh to hear his voice again. Obviously, because he's probably the best commentator in all of wrestling right now. Other than
amazing.
So we had the first match on the dark match. It was Keith Lee versus Fido Bravo. This was pretty much an enhancement match. It was cool that Keith Lee got a match on the show, though, because I was worried he wasn't getting a match, and he did get a match. And obviously, because it's an enhancement match, normally the enhancement talent wouldn't win, but then if you watch SmackDown this week, that record was broken. Yeah, we'll get into that. And Keith Lee wins. He has a new finisher now because I hear he can't do his original finisher because that can end people's careers. So he has a fireman's carry.
Non-career-ending finisher.
So he has a fireman's carry into a jackhammer, and he wins the match. And I like Keith Lee. I think he's very charismatic, and I'll just say this right now: if he goes to the main roster and doesn't win the world title, then there's definitely some sort of race issue going on. Well, we already know that there is, but I'm just saying there's definitely it would definitely be absolutely proven. There's no evidence that would tell me otherwise because he's just awesome. I mean, you can't really give any thoughts, but did you want to add any feedback to this match that I just said? Huh?
Keith Lee.
Have you seen Keith Lee wrestle before? At least you had to.
I have.
Right.
He's incredible.
I don't know if
he can move.
First I thought he was a heel when he was brought up, but I guess he's a baby face. So
I think the heel mannerisms.
Yeah, exactly. And then Lars Sullivan just absolutely destroyed Keita Murray, destruction. He hit the freak accident on him, and the guy he pretty much just murdered this guy. Yeah. And then afterwards, he goes to attack him some more because he says he wants an NXT championship match, and he's going to stop at nothing to get it. and then afterwards Keith Lee comes out and pounces him out of the ring. So they're gonna have a match next week on NXT. A lot of people would question why they're giving away the match right away. Well, mainly because the main roster decided that Lars Sullivan was ready to be called up, so they can't wait much longer.
Did you hear when he was supposed to start? When it was supposed to start airing the vignettes?
They started airing the vignettes at Survivor Series. So
at TLC, it was supposed to air them.
Oh, they really?
The first one was supposed to be at TLC, but Vince, there's something with those big guys.
Yep.
He just couldn't wait.
Yeah, I couldn't wait. But yeah, kind of sucks as I think this match would have been an awesome takeover match, but they have to give it away early. So,
yeah.
And I'm because I'm guessing that Lars Sullivan was supposed to get an NXT championship match at some point because he just recently beat the number one contender, obviously originally Velveteen Dream, and I think he was supposed to get an NXT championship match, but because he's being called up, it would be way too predictable. He's probably losing to Keith Lee, and that would be his last match in NXT or something. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But yeah. As where he goes up to that light thing and he's a creepy monster. I don't think his entrance will look as good on the main roster.
It definitely will.
Yeah. Remember Tyler Breeze's entrance didn't look as good on the main roster?
Yeah, they changed it up real fast.
Yeah. And then we had Nikki Cross versus Candice LeRae. This match was really good, obviously, because it's Nikki Cross and Candice LeRae. And Candice LeRae made history. She's the first woman ever to kick out of the Purge, which is, Nikki Cross's swing and neckbreaker finisher. And then pretty much Candice LeRae just starts getting wicked aggressive like her husband, which we'll talk about on this show, and puts Nikki Cross into the Gargano escape. And Nikki Cross got to the ropes, and obviously if you've seen any wrestling matches where there's disqualifications, you have to break the submission when you hold on to the ropes. And then Candice LeRae gets too overzealous, and Nikki Cross hits a swinging neck breaker while Candice LeRae's hanging off the ropes, and Nikki Cross wins. I thought it was a really good match. And I bet a lot of people by this point, though, because technically this aired before TakeOver, were really confused why Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno wasn't taking place yet. So they were probably I bet because they didn't know this. I bet they were like, "What the hell? Where's the hell is Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno?" We'll get into that. But yeah, I thought this match was really good. If I had to do the star ratings for the two squash matches, I'll give it 2 stars because. It's really hard to have a bad squash match. If you have a bad squash match, you have to be really talented. No, actually, I should say you have to really suck. I almost said really talented to have a bad squash match. You have to really suck to have a bad squash match.
Super talented.
That's not how it works. And then for Nikki Cross versus Candice LeRae, that match was really good. I'll give it 3 3/4. And I don't even have 3/4, but I'm giving it 3 3/4. Yep. And then we get to the real show where Chris can finally start to give his input because he actually
not giving any input.
You saw this stuff though. You could give input. We had the kickoff. We had the panel of Charlie Caruso, Sam Roberts, and our favorite guy in the whole world, Pat McAfee.
Patty.
So is Pat? So now that this is the first time we've talked about a show. Did Pat McAfee suffer some sort of concussion in the NFL or something? Because that guy's just absolutely nuts and insane. What the hell's going on?
He's just been crazy. He's so fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Do you ever watch the WWE will upload some of his podcast when he talked about NXT and he just goes absolutely insane?
Yes, he does.
And he was so upset. I liked it when he completely went off on Johnny Gargano for his heel turn. He's like, why the hell did he do that?
Because he needs to be healed.
That was awesome though. But Pat McAfee is just he's just 5 stars. He's 5 stars.
He is 5 stars.
And then I missed like the first probably 5 minutes of the kickoff because me and John left to get soda because somebody forgot that we drank that we don't drink diet soda, so we had to go fix that problem.
One forgot.
Yeah. And apparently too, when I wasn't around, the live reactions, someone didn't even know, he didn't even know how to start the live reactions. It took him like a half hour to figure it out apparently, and then I just like did my thing, and it took me 5 seconds to figure it out. So
Your thing happened.
I missed the first 5 minutes of the kickoff, but the only thing I missed was they interviewed like the guitar player that's been
Yeah, let me pay attention to that.
Yeah, but then we had Matt Widow get interviewed because I think he was talking about his match. We weren't really paying attention to what they were saying because we were still getting set up for the show.
Yeah.
Because someone couldn't figure out how to start the live reactions, so we had to focus on that. And Matt Widow, I think, was like talking about like what it's like to be in NXT so far. I don't know why they were asking that type of question. He's been in NXT like 2 weeks. How could he really give much of an input on that? But
his input.
So then Cassius Ohno comes up and they start talking shit to each other, like it's talking smack, but they were just talking shit. So
talking shit. It's nothing. It's just talking shit.
Yeah, and Sam Roberts is like trying to calm him down by saying, "You guys have to deal with this next week," even though Sam Roberts should have known they've already dealt with it. So because technically it would have been taped, the match would have happened already. So
it happened already.
So everyone was probably like, so Sam Roberts was probably like, I don't know. The crowd was probably like wicked confused, like, why aren't you guys out there why weren't you guys out there wrestling? Like,
why can't you wrestle?
But Pat McAfee and Matt Widow was awesome because Matt Widow was doing his bro thing and Pat McAfee was just losing his mind over that, saying bro. So that was awesome. And I think Cassius Ohno just he's just Cassius Ohno. So then we had the actual start of the show. Same people on commentary because it took place the same night. And I'll let you talk about this match because you remember it.
Oh, how could you not?
Yeah, Matt Riddle comes out. So what happened when Matt Riddle came out?
Matt Riddle came out, cut a promo, and then didn't last very long. Said bro 1,000 times.
Yep.
And then Cassius Ohno came out and he challenged him to a match, and he won it about fucking 2 seconds.
Actually, I have the Wikipedia time right
7
here.
seconds because I have it up too.
Oh, okay. But yeah, pretty much what happened is Cassius Ohno just goes to attack him. Matt Riddle hits like a high knee and wins, and then that's it.
LOL.
And then and apparently Matt Riddle had the shortest NXT Takeover match in history.
6 seconds of becoming the fastest superstar in NXT history to win a match.
Yeah, they're not going to get to 3 seconds because it takes a while to hit you. They're not going to get to 2 seconds unless you knock them out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it took. Afterwards, Cassius Ohno was pretty much blocked by this knee. He tried to like attack him, but he was falling over and stuff. I thought that was really cool, selling the injury. And
the ropes.
Yeah, and then we were confused, like wondering because we were wondering what match they actually did do on the tape-ins for the next episode. Did they do the match again? Did they do the match already and they just had like an actual match? Like, can you imagine like how hilarious it would have been like if they actually did the match again and Cassius Ohno came out and like they were like, "You beat me at Takeover," and the fans would have been like, "What are you talking about?" Like that would have been hilarious.
Over. Wait a minute.
What are you talking about? So, but yeah, I guess I'll give this match like 3 stars just because it was awesome to see Cassius Ohno get squashed like that. So, I'm guessing they're gonna do a rematch where they'll have a real match. Because obviously Cassius Ohno isn't gonna take this lying down. I mean, he did take it lying down because he got.
No, he took it lying down already.
Yeah, but I mean, more of a figurative sense, he won't take this lying down. So, then we had. Then we have as Mauro Ranallo called it, the regularly scheduled programming, because obviously that wasn't supposed to happen.
It was non-regularly scheduled
programming. So then we had the 2 out of 3 falls match for the NXT Women's Championship. NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane started off like wicked aggressive, just beating the crap out of Shayna Baszler, and then Shayna Baszler like tried like 3 times to get her into the Cortina clutch, but she failed every time because obviously it's too early in the match to do that type of stuff. So then eventually Kairi Sane hits the sliding D, which is like a flying forearm off the apron. Gotta change the name of that finisher because I am not a fan of the sliding D name. That's not a finisher, but you know what I'm saying. Apparently it's a sliding D. I don't know because that sounds really wrong. And then
that D
behind the referee's back, the 2 other UFC 4 horsewomen. I'm gonna see if I can Jessamine Duke and something else. I was gonna say Io Shirai, but that's not right at all. So that's really yeah. The one pretty much the way I remember it is the one that's married to Roderick Strong and the one that's not. So
yes, they both can't be married to him.
Yeah, well maybe they could. Roderick Strong could be cheating on. Yeah. And they run into feelings. I think they threw Kairi Sane in the post or something, and
I love the part where Jessamine Duke kicks the ring post and doesn't sell it at all.
That was not as bad though as what happened at Survivor Series the next day. I'm not getting into that.
That's still bad though.
It was still bad, but not as bad. But Shayna Baszler gets put into the Cortina clutch, and I think Kairi Sane passed out. And Shayna Baszler gets the first fall, and then Shayna Baszler dominates for a while. And because if you've seen any wrestling matches, that's what happens in wrestling matches. The heels dominate for a while. So
no way!
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Unless it's a squash match and the faces dominate forever.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
What did you think? What did you think? The faces dominated for a while, and then the heels made a comeback.
Yeah.
I thought no, that's not how it happens. So then, as pretty much I just said, since Shayna Baszler dominated for a while, Kairi Sane makes a comeback. She hits a flying elbow off the turnbuckle onto all 3 members of the 4 horsewomen because the 4th one wasn't there because she was busy getting ready for a match at Survivor Series. And then she hits the elbow drop from the insane elbow drop. Not the best elbow drop in wrestling, but good elbow drop on Shayna Baszler and gets the 2nd fall. So now it's pretty much down, spilled into chaos. I think that pretty much that was the point where Jessamine Duke went into the post, but you already broke down that spot, so I don't need to talk about it now. So,
yep.
And then Dakota Kai comes out and hits a pump knee onto one of the 4 horsewomen. I forget which one because I saw this show like over a week ago, so I wouldn't remember. And then the numbers game are too much for her, so Io Shirai runs out, making her official NXT debut and hits a moonsault on everybody. And then eventually Kairi Sane goes for the insane elbow drop again, but then Shayna Baszler turns it into a roll-up, gets the win, retains the title. I thought this match was a really good opener. Went 10 minutes and 55 seconds exactly. I'll give it 3 1/4. Just a quarter, not 3, just 1.
I give it 3.
And Shayna Baszler retains the title. I'm assuming on a future episode of NXT, they're building to like a 6-woman tag with all these 6 women, not 3, 6. Because and I'm assuming they're not calling Shayna Baszler up too because they can't have the other 2 horsewomen go up because they would be like really because you could tell they're still very green when they're out there doing all their green. Yeah. So yeah, and obviously too, like NXT is not normally known for doing like title changes like really quickly. It's only happened like a couple of occasions, like when Nakamura and Joe traded back for the title was the only the time it happened. So.
Oh yeah.
So, no one. I would. What would be the point of putting the title right back on Baszler? I'm going to assume that if Evolution didn't happen, Kairi Sane probably would have just lost the title here, but obviously they pushed it up because Evolution happened. So, um, so yeah. Do you have any other feedback you want to give on this match, or you all set?
If you kick a ring post, sell it
Yes,
because it's supposed to hurt.
it's supposed to.
Not fucking ignore that it happened.
Yeah. And then you had Alice. I almost said Aleister Black versus Johnny Gargano. I thought this was the best match of the whole weekend. Um, it was just awesome. Johnny Gargano, it's definitely confirmed as a heel because his logo's a little different. He has like before he had like a skeleton where it represented good, but now it represents evil because he's a heel. And he's acting he's extra cocky now, and I thought this was a hell of a match because what I liked about this match was each guy was pretty much one step ahead of what the other guy's moveset was. Like when Aleister Black went for his acted like he was gonna dive on the outside and he sits down crisscross applesauce. Johnny Gargano was ready for that and kicked Aleister Black like right in the face. Which I don't think Aleister Black was expecting that. And I thought they had a hell of a matchup. Aleister Black hit a really cool flip dive on the outside, which James said that's the first time he's done that, but I'm pretty sure he's done that before. So,
he could have done. I mean, I don't think I've seen him do it, but he could have.
I feel like he's done it before because
I feel like he's done it too.
Yeah. Not and I think he's done it in NXT because obviously that's the only place I would have seen him do it.
Yeah,
I think he did it like I'm pretty sure he's done it. But I did like but Johnny Gargano was really aggressive with this match. I thought at some point he kicked Aleister Black's head off. So I especially liked it when he was asking Aleister Black to hit the Black Mass on him, and obviously Aleister Black went for it and Johnny Gargano ducked, went full roll up, and turns that into the Gargano escape. And Aleister Black rolls out of that. Johnny Gargano goes for a dive on the outside, and Aleister Black catches him with a wicked pump knee. I thought Johnny Gargano died on that spot, especially when
that's brutal.
Especially when he went for like his springboard DDT that he likes to, no, the slingshot spear that he likes to hit, and I think Black kneed him in the face again. Thought that was awesome. And then Black hits his Cabrana, which is pretty much the moonsault, the springboard moonsault on the outside. And then obviously Johnny Gargano goes for the old DIY finish where it's his version where he does the I believe he does the kick to the head and Ciampa would do the knee.
Yeah.
And Aleister Black sits down in his signature pose, asking Gargano to kick him. Goes to kick him. Aleister Black counters that. And yeah, I just thought they had a hell of a matchup. And obviously the finish comes when Aleister Black hits not one black mash, but two black matches because he feels like the Gargano hasn't suffered enough and wins the match. I give this match 4 3/4. It's a hell of a match. And obviously, I was pretty surprised though it was third on the card because pretty much this was like the main storyline of NXT. I thought it would have not the main. I thought it either would have main evented or had been like the last match before War Games. I was pretty surprised it was third on the card. So, but yeah, I thought that was a hell of a match. Any other feedback you want to give this match?
I mean, you nailed it. It was a fantastic match. It was a great match to watch. I loved it. Every spot that got us pretty much almost out of our seats.
And I don't think this feud is going to be over. I think they're going to continue this feud. I would have thought so if because obviously none of them's being called up. Aleister Black though did signify that he wants the NXT title because I think he did the thing where like a wrestler wants the championship. So I'm assuming they could do the triple threat match that they were gonna do at Brooklyn and just move it to like the next takeover because obviously I think they want because I want to see that match. So it'll be interesting too because everyone's talking about how DRI could get back together. They could do that triple threat match and have DIY get back together. Obviously, you could find a way where either Gargano helps Ciampa win the belt or Ciampa, which probably would, because I don't see Ciampa helping Gargano win the belt. I don't know. I don't know if I would like to see DIY get back together though in a way because they would kind of like pretty much spit in the face of everyone that watched that year-long feud. Like it's too soon for them to get back together at the same time. So
Yeah, but you never, honestly.
yeah. Speaking of DIY though, we had the NXT Championship match. I'll let you talk about this match. Tommaso Ciampa defended against Velveteen Dream.
This match was fantastic. It's like it follows up another great match. It got a little bit more time. It went 22-25.
Yeah.
And it was just there was many hope spots for Velveteen Dream, who looks to be a mega star coming out of this match.
Oh yeah.
And
Especially
he was Hulk Hogan.
This time he was the NWO version though, because I think it was Chicago he came out as the red and white version.
Yeah. But he's rising right now.
Oh yeah. I'm surprised he's not being called up. I'm also thinking too he's still really young, so it's there's really no reason there's no rush to call him up either.
Yeah,
so.
there really isn't any rush to call him up.
Which that was pretty much a pun by accident, obviously because of the tag team, but no rush though to call up Velveteen Dream though.
No rush, baby. No rush.
But obviously, highlights of the match included Velveteen Dream doing Hulk Hogan's signature moves, which was awesome. And obviously, the biggest highlight was Tommaso Ciampa throwing the NXT script at Mauro Ranallo.
That was hilarious.
Because we missed it. Well, actually, I think I missed it originally, and
I missed it too.
And we went back and you'll see it in the live reactions. We went back and had to watch it, which I could tell you weren't happy we made you go back, but we did it anyway. So, and then Tommaso Ciampa hit like his Project Ciampa, and Velveteen Dream pretty much did all the hope spots. And obviously Ciampa won with the draping DDT from one of the, because obviously there was 2 wins the whole night because it was War Games that night, and he hit the draping DDT from the ropes onto like the steel part that connected to the 2 wins and beat Velveteen Dream. And even though Tommaso Ciampa starting to get some cheers, he still gets heavily booed though. Like after this match, he was pretty heavily booed. It's also really tough to say because now that he has the theme music, we don't really know if he's still getting as heavily booed as he was before.
He was the theme music. He was
a lot of people don't like his theme song, but I think it's fine. Does it fit him? Probably not, but it's at least with his theme song, it's not like a catchy song that like a heel has. It's like a song. So, because that's another bad thing about heels. A lot of them have catchy like face songs that everybody likes. So.
They didn't do any catchy ones.
Yeah.
Well, never really made sense, but.
And then you had I was surprised though they didn't do, because he had a theme song in the Cruiserweight Classic, but I think that song's like a babyface song that he had too, though. So, and then you had the main event because it's War Games. Obviously, that's the main event. It's Pete Dunne, Ricochet, and the War Raiders versus the Undisputed Era. Ricochet and Adam Cole started the match, which I thought made sense since they're kind of the main ones out of the 2 groups.
Yeah.
And I feel like Ricochet is kind of like the Iron Man. You could have had Pete Dunne probably be the Iron Man, but he was working with an injury that he suffered from, quote, this week's well, not this week's, but the go-home show of NXT. I say quote because he suffered that injury like a long time ago, really. So, and War Raiders are like the Big Ben, so they wouldn't be the Iron Mans. Ricochet's more the Iron Man because if you watched his Lucha Underground one, he's worked an Iron Man match before, and they didn't call it an Iron Man match, but it was pretty much an Iron Man match. So, and then obviously Adam Cole. Really, I thought it made sense, obviously, for Bobby Fish to go in last because this was his first match after his injury, at least on TV anyways. I'm assuming he's been back on the house shows because they wouldn't have put him in War Games, I'd imagine, if he wasn't ready to come back. So,
Oh yeah, that'd be stupid if they just like, well, like, you know what? You're just gonna go right into this.
yeah, pretty much. So Adam Cole and Ricochet started it off, and they pretty much went back and forth in this match. Ricochet hit a really cool like uppercut from one win to the next win. Adam Cole hit a really cool backstabber, catching Ricochet from the turnbuckles. And Adam Cole seizes control. And since the Undisputed Era, since Kyle O'Reilly won the match on NXT that gave them the man advantage, they get to come out first. So Kyle O'Reilly, I believe, came out. Was it Riley or Strawn that came out first? I think it was Riley that came out first.
Yeah.
I think it was Kyle O'Reilly. And if you've seen any War Games match that didn't take place in TNA, when a new guy comes in, they would take control. And then Hanson comes in next, and they Ricochet and Hanson run wild for a while. And then Roderick Strong comes in next, and Undisputed Era gained the advantage again. And then Ray Rowe came in. I say in Ray Rowe because that's what it says on Wikipedia, but I think they just call him Rowe. They don't call him Ray Rowe. The War Raiders hit some really cool double team moves, like the slam Samoan drop combo they did was really cool. And then Bobby Fish comes in next, and he takes his lock and locks Pete Dunne and puts his lock on the lock of Pete Dunne's cage, so that way he can't get out, which I thought was pretty smart because Undisputed Era pretty much had the advantage forever. And you could see that Pete Dunne, Ricochet, and the War Raiders weren't really working together because they were fighting with which one was going to go into the match next. Because Pete Dunne doesn't really work well with other people, as we've seen before, unless it's Tyler Bate.
Angry young man.
Yes. Which he had a kid, the next day, right?
Yeah.
So that was pretty, he had a good weekend.
He did, for sure.
And then Bobby Fish brings out Undisputed Era logo chairs. And they pretty much beat the crap out of Ricochet and the War Raiders with the chairs. I believe Roderick Strong hit like a backbreaker onto Ricochet into the chair. I'm saying Ricochet because that sounds like that was because I don't think he's hitting it on the War Raiders. So, and pretty much when it's time for Pete Dunne to come out, they can't release him to come out. Of course, the referees don't realize this. They unlock his door and they tried the key to his, and they didn't try the Undisputed Era's key. Because I forgot to mention, Bobby Fish threw the key into the crowd. Well, not into the crowd, but pretty much the key's gone forever.
Pretty much in the crowd.
Yeah. I wonder if a fan just kept that key, I get that key to the.
I have the key.
I have the key to. I guess that. Imagine if a fan. I could just picture too, imagine a fan trying to jump the win and try to unlock Pete Dunne, and the referee's trying to hold him back, and he's like, "I'm trying to get this guy out of here."
Yeah, I'm open.
I wonder what the referee. That would have been hilarious. Security's holding him back. He's like, "I have the key. I'm trying to give it to him."
I have the key.
Yeah, so then eventually the referees just get bolt cutters and cut Pete Dunne out. So pretty much the Undisputed Era was fucked once Pete Dunne got in. And of course,
they didn't. They didn't wait. It basically was like a non-factor in that. They didn't even keep him in the cage.
No.
It was as soon as they couldn't get the lock off, they immediately went to the bolt cutters.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't any suspense.
Hey,
can Pete Dunne get out of here?
Yeah.
They had the advantage for about a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
They came with the bolt cutters, and it was okay.
And then, of course, because Pete Dunne's the last guy in, he brings in the weapons. And O'Reilly and Cole, or O'Reilly and Fish, I forget which one it was, but it was two of Undisputed Era's trying to keep the door shut so Pete Dunne can't get in. Because Pete Dunne grabbed a kendo stick and just beat the crap out of him. Undisputed Era had a good plan, but just referees were just like, nope.
Shitty heels.
Uh, and then Pete Dunne brings out all the weapons, and the match pretty much just spills into chaos. Highlights that I remember was Woe spearing O'Reilly through the table that was set up between the two rings.
Yeah.
Pete Dunne stomping Kyle O'Reilly's hand right onto like the metal part that connects the two rings together. Like,
that was nasty.
yeah, and I think that's pretty much. We should have already known that, but Pete Dunne has a weird finger fetish. So,
Yes, he does.
um, I believe Wall went off the top turnbuckle and put O'Reilly through the table. And I think that got messed up because they couldn't get the table set up originally. I remember. So
yeah, they could have fell down.
And then Rowe did like a hip attack right onto Strawn that with a trash can over his head, which looked fine, but obviously you could tell that trash can did not connect at all with Roderick Strawn's head because
not even close.
I believe Ricochet hit like a really like the War Raiders threw Ricochet into one side of the ring and landed on everybody, and pretty much I did like the spot where pretty much they remembered stuff that happened last year where like Kyle O'Reilly went to hit one of the teammates with the chair, and instead of the chair coming back and hitting him, he remembered not to have that happen this time. So
got it duck.
Yeah, but I still think it didn't work out for him because I think he still got the chair like kicked into his face or something like that.
Yeah,
so
he still got hit with the chair.
He tried to do the submission again with the chain, which I don't recall a chain being brought into the ring, but it was.
I don't know. It was inside one of the trash cans, I think.
But it didn't work. And then they do the Tower of Doom spot where everybody gets superplex and like power bombed off like the cage, and obviously except Ricochet, because Ricochet hits not a 630 but a 036 pretty much, where he does a reverse moonsault.
Yeah,
and that was pretty scary because
almost
had Adam Cole not been where he was, Ricochet probably would have died. Well, not been really paralyzed. So
he would have fucking almost died.
Yeah. I did like though before that they tried to Undisputed Era trying to kick Ricochet out of the cage because they have that stipulation where if you leave the cage you lose the match. So they were trying to kick Ricochet out of the cage. But Ricochet just wasn't having any of that though. So
no.
And then I did like the spot where like everybody got to their feet and they were all in the other side of the ring and they got like into like a big face off screaming at each other. A lot of yelling right there. So
a lot.
And everybody hits the finishers on each other, and then Pete Dunne hits the bitter end on Adam Cole, and Ricochet hits the springboard 450 on Adam Cole, and Pete Dunne and Ricochet both pin Adam Cole, and they get the win. And Pete Dunne, Ricochet, and the War Raiders win the match. I was all right with them winning, obviously, because this opens up the door now for War Raiders to get a future NXT Tag Team title match, and since Undisputed Era won last year, I thought it made sense for them to lose this year. But
yeah, because the Faces won last year.
Well, no, Undisputed Era won last year and they were heels last year.
Well, the heels won last year, so
yeah, the faces win this year.
Yeah.
But they did set something up though, because Pete Dunne and Ricochet stand over the cages and they look at each other like they want their championships. So that's probably setting up that title versus title match at Takeover. That's going to be really weird because it's the same issue as they had the first match where none of them can lose their title because Pete Dunne can't lose his UK title because NXT UK started up and they're not going to have Ricochet be the NXT UK champion. And then Ricochet, huh?
They could.
They could. But then Pete Dunne can't win the North American title because if he because I don't know, that would be weird. Unless at NXT UK Takeover, Pete Dunne's losing his UK title and will fight for the North American title. So, Because I'm assuming Pete Dunne's probably losing his title because he's I think he's just past 500 days. Or
He's a lot of days.
Yeah, actually, I can look that up right now. See how long he's been champion. He's been NXT UK champion for um 554 days. And he's definitely unless he like gets injured or like dies, he's definitely gonna hold that belt for 600 days because I think by the time NXT UK Takeover Blackpool comes up, he'll be at about 600 days, if not a little over 600 days. So that was War Games. War Games was awesome. I think I like I don't know which War Games I like better. I think they were both about the same quality. So um, I forgot to give my star rating for the NXT Championship match. I'll give it 4.5. This match, I'll give I'll give this match 4 stars because it wasn't quite as good as like the NXT title match or Black.
It's definitely not 5.
No, not 5. No 5-star matches on this show. So, but that was pretty much. Is there anything that I missed at War Games that we should have talked about, or did I pretty much get everything?
No, you got everything.
I mean, I didn't get everything because it's War Games is just like a crazy match where it's tough to remember like every spot. So
it's tough.
Yeah. So if we missed something, we did a live reaction to it, so you'll see it in like the live reaction. So, but if I had to rate this show like overall, I'm gonna give it just a solid A. It's not quite a perfect show because I feel like to rate the perfect show, it's kind of the same thing with the rate the 5-star match. If you have to ask yourself if it's a perfect show, then it's not a perfect show. You know a perfect show when you see it. What do you give it?
I give it I give it 4.5.
4.5 out of 10.
Yes.
Well, you hated this show?
No, I'm just kidding. I give it an 8.
That's like and I think that's like that's like a B. So, so there's that. That's Takeover War Games. Survivor Series was good, but it did not even come close to like being better than War Games. So, let's talk about Survivor Series. And if you thought SmackDown was the B, if you didn't think SmackDown was the B show before Survivor Series, WWE definitely proved it was the B show after.
It became the A show.
So let's talk about Survivor Series. We had the kickoff. There was a preview show, but I didn't have time to watch it, so I didn't watch. I wasn't gonna watch it after Survivor Series already happened because that would have been weird. So, we had the pre-show. We had the panel of Jonathan Coachman, Jerry the King Lawler, Booker T, Beth Phoenix, and David Otunga. Lawler and Booker T switched within the hour because they couldn't be. Apparently, they weren't allowed to be on it at the same time for some reason, so they were just told not to. Good to see. It's always good to see Ken. Booker T, not so much because he's not good. Not just that commentator, but not on the panel either. He's weird. And I didn't take any notes, but highlights I remember from the kickoff is Natalya and Ruby Riott got into a fight, so they were kicked off the Raw team just because.
That was a thing.
Yeah, like the people on like the football team get into a fight, so they kick off the football team.
They kick him off. Goodbye.
See ya. So then Alexa Bliss puts Bayley and Sasha Banks on the team because she doesn't have much of a choice. And to which I was thinking, so Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan got shafted because they were right there ready to compete in the match. Nope, they weren't good enough apparently to be on the team. So, and I like too, like, Bayley and Sasha Banks probably were there because Raw was in the same venue, but I like how they're just at Survivor Series in wrestling gear, ready to wrestle.
They're just there. They're ready.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's like, what a coincidence that was.
What a coincidence. Here we are.
Yeah.
Wrestle. We're wrestle people.
Yeah. So apparently, had I known this was gonna, what kind of sucks too is this affected our prediction because had I known Bayley and Sasha Banks were gonna be on the team, I would have picked Team Raw to win the whole match because there was no way SmackDown was going to beat Team Raw at that point. But nope, they were just like, we're gonna wait to tell you until after your predictions are already out there. So
after the predictions already out there, fuck you.
yeah. Notice too, they wouldn't have done this too if we didn't do our predictions. I bet if we didn't do a Survivor Series predictions, Natty and Ruby Riott still would have been on the team. So
yep.
So then you had Mandy Rose join the SmackDown team. You could say this is disappointing because a lot of people were expecting like a big call up, but anytime you get to see Mandy Rose, you can't really say it's disappointing. So
yeah, she's not disappointing.
No. And then Paige and Baron Corbin got interviewed about like who thought, and obviously about who they thought was going to win at SmackDown, and obviously Paige wasn't going to say Raw, Baron Corbin wasn't going to say SmackDown, so they get into an argument. Then Leo Rush,
yeah.
Leo Rush.
I thought they were all going to say SmackDown.
Yeah. And then Leo Rush and Bobby Lashley interrupted, and Leo Rush gloats about Bobby Lashley, so there's that. And then you had the pre-show match. It's a Raw versus SmackDown 10-on-10 Survivor Series Tag Team Elimination match. Team SmackDown's co-captains, the Usos, Big E and Xavier Woods, Eric Young and Killian Dane, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, and the Colognes, who are accompanied to the ring by Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, because Kofi Kingston's in the New Day and Alexander Wolf's Insanity. So they would obviously be there.
Yeah.
And then we had Team Raw's co-captains Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, the Revival, the B Team, all three members of Lucha House Party, which we'll get into why they were all in the match in a second, and the Ascension. So pretty much the Colognes were just eliminated right away.
Holy.
Shadow Machine, see you later. But before that happened, the reason why all three members of Lucha House Party competed is because Kalisto got hurt in this match. He tweaked it. He tweaked his knee, so Grand Metalik took his place because it was originally Kalisto and Lince Dorado. But then, you could say it doesn't make sense, but I think they kind of called that one on the fly. So you have to kind of give them.
They did that one because they wanted all three members to be in different times.
Yeah, because that's really weird because there's been no reports of anything that Kalisto.
Yeah, it was the thing that kind of like basically what they did on Raw.
Yeah, because I thought Kalisto was like legitimately hurt. So
I totally missed it. So I didn't like.
Yeah,
I was like, I didn't see that like his quote unquote injury.
Yeah,
but, like I saw like Grand Metalik in the match because I looked away for a second and I was like, what the fuck happened? And all of a sudden I saw Kalisto on the outside. I was like, what the fuck?
And then Sanity the B team got eliminated by a schoolboy by Carl Anderson on Bo Dallas. So I guess the B team's push is over forever. It was already over forever, but that just definitely shows, which I'm happy about. And then you had Roode and Gable hit a neckbreaker moonsault combination on Eric Young, eliminate Insanity. Which I like that tag team finish that they have. I think that's a cool finish.
Yeah.
Then you had the Ascension get eliminated by Big E when Xavier Woods put Big E on his shoulders and like did like an assisted splash, which was really cool because that was a very good test of strength by Big E. Not Big E, Xavier Woods. And then Gallows and Anderson were eliminated by Grand Metalik with the springboard senton drop by Grand Metalik, which was kind of weird that Gallows and Anderson, who like dominated Japan, were eliminated like nothing in this match, but whatever.
Nothing.
So then I think by the time it came down to Lucha House Party, Roode and Gable and the Revival versus the New Day and the Usos, it became a hell of a tag team match. They hit like a lot of dives on each other. Lucha House Party were eliminated by Jey Uso. I only know that because I have it on Wikipedia, so maybe Wikipedia could be wrong too. It could be the other Uso. They don't know. With the springboard Samoa drop, which apparently is called Ali Oos, which is a really bad name. Don't call it that. And I thought when Lince Dorado got hit with that Samoan drop, he like broke his ribs or something because he took a really bad landing on that too. And then it's just down to like a hell of an 8-man tag. And then Roode and Gable get eliminated by Big E with the up, up, down, down, which is pretty much obviously the Uranagi into the backbreaker or the backstabber. And then the New Day get eliminated with the Shattered Machine, and then the Usos and the Revival have a hell of a tag match, which would have been like better when the Revival were like actually pushed, but nope. And obviously the Usos win, and SmackDown went 1-0, but nope. Apparently the pre-show doesn't count.
It doesn't count because it's not the actual show.
Yeah. So apparently WWE
pre-show. Pre.
So
Before the show.
Apparently too, the WWE took our motto and didn't count the pre-show. So
exactly.
But the Usos were the sole survivors. I think the Usos are probably getting a future SmackDown Tag Team title match, which is probably why they won. It was just really weird though that they won this match and they weren't even on TV this week. So, that was weird. I hear the Usos have heat backstage, and with the way they've been booked lately, whatever. So then you had I forgot to mention. Huh? I can't hear you. Maybe everybody has heat backstage. So then you had and on commentary for the kickoff. I forgot to say that was Corey Graves, Tom Phillips, and Byron Saxton. I did like this year on commentary team. They didn't do like the 5-man one like they did last year. They switched it back and forth because the 5-man commentary team did not work last year. But that was mainly because Booker T didn't know what team he was on last year. So I feel like they probably could have done that this year and they wouldn't have had that problem. So because Corey Graves isn't on any team, so
he's not playing with any team. He's a teamless man.
Hey, isn't it still weird though how we still remember that a year ago today? So
he's fucking teamless. That poor man, he's teamless.
So pretty much what happened is the Raw commentary team was Corey Graves, Michael Cole, and Renee Young, and they would switch back and forth. Pretty much the Raw commentary team got all the big matches, and the SmackDown commentary team got the nothing matches, except Nakamura versus Rollins. That was a something match, but everything else, nothing. Nothing. So then we had the real show.
Exactly.
It was another Raw versus SmackDown match. It was 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match. Team Raw's Mickie James, Nia Jax, who was heavily booed on this show as she should have been. Tamina Snuka, Bayley, and Sasha Banks with team captain Alexa Bliss ringside versus Team SmackDown's Naomi, Carmella. Naomi somehow was the team captain.
Randomly.
Yeah, that didn't last very long. Carmella, Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, and I almost said Mandy Rose and Mandy Rose. No, it's Asuka.
We have two Mandy Roses here.
No, it's Asuka and Mandy Rose.
Mandy Rose and Mandy Rose?
Yeah. It's like when I did Liv Morgan and Liv Morgan. So Naomi didn't last long in this match. She was eliminated in 1 minute and 20 seconds by Tamina's super kick because there was just so much commotion going down. So, yeah. And then Tamina was eliminated right afterwards with a scoop. It's a schoolgirl because it's a woman's match, so you have to call it a schoolgirl by Carmella. And then Mandy Rose was being like a bitch to Sonya Deville in this match by taking credit for her stuff. Sonya Deville hit like a running knee on Mickie James, and Mandy Rose took the credit for the pin. But Mandy Rose, you know, she's allowed to do that, so why not, right?
I know, right?
And then Carmella was eliminated by Bayley with the Bayley to belly, and then Mandy Rose was eliminated with the bank statement. She tapped out, obviously, because that's a submission move, and that's how you lose submission matches. So, and then Bayley and Sonya Deville were both counted out. So then it's down to Asuka versus just Sasha Banks and Nia Jax. And Nia Jax just wants to take the credit, so she pushes Sasha Banks off the turnbuckles and then gets caught, which causes Sasha to get caught into the Asuka lock. And Asuka taps out Sasha Banks, and then Nia Jax absolutely destroys Asuka, hits the leg drop, and beats her with the Samoan drop. And Nia Jax is the sole survivor because when you injure somebody, you get like a big push, apparently. It's apparently what happens, right? You get like the big push. Whatever. So Nia Jax, I mean, it makes sense too because she's facing Ronda at TLC, so you got to put her over as strong as possible. But yeah, Nia Jax is not very well liked right now, so probably is going to be hated forever.
I hope so.
And then you had Baron Corbin and Stephanie McMahon afterwards watching this match, and Stephanie McMahon says that if Raw pitches a shutout, Baron Corbin will become the permanent. Yeah, Baron Corbs. Baron Corbin will become the permanent Raw GM, which obviously was done away with the next night. But then Shane McMahon and Paige come in and they do the whole thing. You know, Raw is better than SmackDown. SmackDown's better than Raw. Whatever. And then Team Raw's backstage. I don't know if this had happened yet, but I'm just talking about it now. And Braun Strowman's upset because he has to work with everybody. And he says he's not allowed to touch Baron Corbin, so he throws Leo Rush into him. And then R-Truth comes in and tries to be on the team, but he's on SmackDown, not Raw, so he can't be on the team. I was sad for R-Truth. Poor R-Truth, man.
Poor R-Truth, man. That's a sad man.
Yeah. I'll let you talk about this next match. Raw versus SmackDown, champion versus champion match. Raw's Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins versus SmackDown's United States Champion Shinsuke Nakamura.
This match is great. Fantastic in every way, shape, or form. Two great competitors go out there and beat the holy hell out of each other for 21.5 minutes.
Yes.
Nothing more, nothing less.
Yes. And I have a problem with the finish that Seth Rollins won because Nakamura could have easily just won this match because obviously they had the Dean Ambrose out where they could have just had Dean Ambrose interfere and win this match, but they had to prove that SmackDown was the B show. So that's all they had to do. But that takes it down a star rating. So I forgot to do the star ratings. The kickoff match gets 3.25 stars. Team Raw, the Raw women's match. That match was very weird and very sloppy in the beginning. So I'm gonna give that like 2.5. And then I'm giving Rollins versus Nakamura 3.75. Would have gotten 4, but the finish ruined it.
Yeah.
And then you get to talk about the fun next match, the Raw versus SmackDown champion versus champion match. Raw Tag Team Champions AOP with Drake Maverick inside, which I forgot to mention. Drake Maverick did an interview on the kickoff too. It was really weird because he switched personas. He was like the 205 Live GM of the babyface, and then he was like the heel manager of the AOP. That was weird.
Really weird. Is he still a face on 205 Live?
Yeah, he's still a face. So yeah, and then you had, but it was AOP versus SmackDown Tag Team Champions, The Bar with the Big Show inside. So you get to talk about this match and with the fun thing that took place during it. So
I'll get to the fun. I'll get to the moment first. But you have 205 Live general manager and AOP manager Drake Maverick pissing his pants on live television. Hilarious shit.
You thought that was funny?
Hilarious shit. Hilarious.
I think you and I have different definitions of comedy right there.
It was actually pretty funny. What I didn't appreciate was the extra long shot on his junk.
Pretty much. Big Show laughed at him too.
Laughed at his dick.
Yeah.
He laughed at him. He laughed at his dick.
I have an issue with this though.
Actually, that's why he was fumbling around with his pants.
Yeah.
It malfunctioned, so he actually pissed himself.
Oh, he actually did? I thought
he actually had to improvise and he actually pissed himself.
Damn, then that makes it funny. What's really weird about this though is that he's supposed to be the 205 Live GM. How is like when he tries to like restore order now? How is anyone going to take him seriously now? Like, never. I guess. But 205 Live is like not really with WoW anymore though. So I guess technically
it is because they've been Lucha House Party.
Yeah, pretty much. And anyhow, that led to like the finish though with like AOP winning via distraction because somebody peed their pants. So it was embarrassing for the Bar too because they lost because somebody peed their pants.
Someone peed their pants, and it directly resulted in their loss.
Yeah, but you forgot to talk about the other fun thing that took place during this match.
Oh, the there was someone who went into the crowd and was a paying customer and was being an asshole. You might have heard of him, real one, Enzo Abore. He tried to hijack the show, and he got yanked down off of a chair and hurt a fan in the process. So fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him.
Even more than even more than I already hated him, I hate him even more now. And it was he had a concert. He had a fucking concert the next night. Nobody showed up. There was like 30 people that showed up. If that. That's being generous.
I'll say this. I usually say when you're a paying customer, you have the right to cheer what you want. But I would expect like what Enzo Amore did. What Enzo Amore did, I would expect a wrestling fan to do that. Not like somebody that was like in the business. Like that was just pretty childish right there. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm at least happy though. That he hijacked this match and not the cruiserweight match. Because can you imagine that would have been bad for the cruiserweights if you know he hijacked it doing that match. I was worried it was doing the when I heard that he did that, I was worried it was doing the cruiserweight match because the cruiserweights actually finally got like a chance to perform, and I would have been pissed if he was doing that. Huh?
They got showcased.
Yeah. But so yeah, if I didn't like this match that much though. Very sloppy. It was really weird because like the Bar couldn't really do much of their moves because AOP is so big, and the Bar I guess were faces for one night. So can we technically say Big Show's turned face again? Because he was face on. He was face here, and then he was a heel on SmackDown. Isn't that? So that's 33 times the Big Show's turned from. Big Show's had this turns of face and heel now. This match is
it's there.
This match is 2 stars though.
100.
100 stars.
Yep.
Breaks the scale. Is it because Drake? Is it because of Drake Maverick?
Drake Maverick pissing himself. Yes.
What about Enzo though? He was there.
He doesn't count.
Oh, okay. But let's talk about the next.
Yeah, he does count. You can take 95. You can take 93 stars off of that.
So 5.
Yes.
Okay, 5 stars. So then we had the Cruiserweight Championship match. It was Cruiserweight Champion Buddy Murphy versus Mustafa Ali. And since this was a 205 live match, Vic Joseph, Nigel McGuinness, and Percy Watson did the commentary for it because of the 205 live commentary team. I was pretty surprised that they actually were allowed to be showcased. I was pretty like when I was doing the predictions when they were actually like announced for the main show. I'm like, okay, I'm not buying this because I thought how WWE likes to do that. I thought they were gonna move this like to the kickoff, like right before the show happened or something like.
Oh, I know, yeah.
But they actually made the main show, and I thought they were properly placed because we had 3 Raw versus SmackDown matches, and then we had a cruiserweight match. I thought they were properly placed, and they had a hell of a cruiserweight championship match. I was very surprised. They've had better matches on 205 Live, but I still thought they had a really good match. Obviously, my favorite spot in the match was when Mustafa Ali did the Spanish fly off the announcer's table onto the floor. But I thought they had a hell of a matchup, and Buddy Murphy retained his cruiserweight title, which I thought made sense since he just won the championship. But I really enjoyed this match. I'll give it 3 3/4. Actually, I'm bumping it up to 4 stars. I thought it was a great cruiserweight championship match, and I hope the cruiserweights get more showcase. I think what's good about the cruiserweights not being at every show now is when they are on the shows, it makes the show feel a little bit different too.
It does make the show. It gives it purpose.
Yeah, exactly. And I was pretty happy they made the main. I'm guessing Vince McMahon must like Buddy Murphy because if you think about it too, like that's when he's been in the cruiserweight matches. That's when like it's been showcased. So I'm guessing it's got to be something like that. So
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I really enjoyed the this cruiserweight match. I don't know what's next for Buddy Murphy now though, because I'm guessing he's gonna have like a trip. They're gonna do a 4-way match at 205 Live with. Which when we talk about 205 Live, it will make sense with like Tony Nese, Cedric Alexander because he hasn't had his rematch yet, and then obviously Mustafa Ali will factor in somewhere. So I'm actually pretty excited. I'm guessing the cruiserweights won't be at TLC because I actually like that they're only at the big shows. So I think that's but yeah, anything else you want to add about the cruiserweight match?
No, I thought it was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah. And Buddy Murphy didn't drop the title because if he had dropped the title here, I would have agreed with you with saying they just had him win the title in Australia for the cheap pop because it would have been really weird if he just won the title and then lost it to Mustafa Ali.
Let's go cheap pop.
Mustafa Ali, though, I imagine he's probably winning the cruiserweight title at WrestleMania. I think so.
Cedric still has to get his rematch though.
Yeah, he could get his rematch, and then Mustafa Ali. It's really weird because on 205 Live, I think it seems like I want to see like a heel turn happen where Cedric or Mustafa Ali turn on one another because they're such good friends. I'd imagine they're gonna do a feud. And I think it's gonna be Cedric. Cedric that turns because he's gonna be upset that Mustafa Ali pretty much took his title match. So that would make sense.
It would.
And then you had the 5-on-5 Raw versus SmackDown men's elimination match. Team Raw's Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, and Bobby Lashley, with Raw captain Baron Corbin and Leo Rush ringside versus Team SmackDown's team captain The Miz, Shane McMahon, Rey Mysterio, Samoa Joe, and Jeff Hardy. I did like the match, but it pissed me off in places, and I'll get into the places where it pissed me off. Right in the beginning, it pissed me off when Samoa Joe was eliminated in 35 seconds.
Oh yeah,
that was. I get you had to do surprise eliminations, but that was just really stupid. I thought that was dumb. And of course, they had to redo the spot. It feels like they've done this spot every year, where the Braun has to go through the table every year. It's always Braun. He's done it for the past 3 years, and yeah, that pissed me off because it shows that they don't watch footage of their past matches because Braun should have known that was going to happen. So, I think, but obviously, I think they did that because Braun was working hurt, so they probably didn't want him to do a lot in this match. But that still pissed me off though.
It should.
And then Rey Mysterio and Finn Balor went at it for a while. That was cool. I hope they have a match in the future. And Rey Mysterio beat Finn Balor with the 619 and like the springboard frog splash and eliminated him. And then Shane McMahon did the coast to coast to Dolph Ziggler and eliminated him, which also pissed me off. And then pretty much Braun Strowman buries the SmackDown division by eliminating Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio, The Miz, just like that. That didn't really piss me off because it's Braun Strowman. What pissed me off was, of course, Shane McMahon had to be the last guy to go out.
He couldn't blame anyone though.
No, he couldn't blame anyone.
He couldn't blame Kevin and Sami this time.
No, not this year. No, I remember that happened last year. But this pissed me off because why did it have to be like Shane McMahon? Why couldn't it be like The Miz or Rey Mysterio? Like it had to be Shane McMahon that was the last guy to go out. Like he barely even he didn't even really put anybody over going out because the only reason you can make the argument that he even was eliminated was because it was down to a 3-on-1 situation. So it's just Shane McMahon being the last guy to go out pissed me off. Joe being eliminated in like 30 seconds pissed me off. And obviously, too, it was pissed me off because I pretty much knew where the rest of the show was going. So it was just like, yep. Because this match didn't matter. Even if SmackDown won, they were still losing in the end. So
SmackDown still lost anyway.
Yeah, they would have lost anyways, I think. So the Soul Survivors were Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley, I did absolutely nothing in this match. So
he's Lashley.
Yeah.
Lashley.
Lashley. And also what pisses me off is that they've had Leo Rush stop doing that chant. Because, if you get heat, WWE doesn't like that. So, yeah, this match gets it was a good match. I'll give it 3 stars, but it pissed me. Actually, no, wait. It pissed me. It would have been 3 stars, but since it pissed me off, I'm giving it 2 3/4. I think
I give it 3.
this was not as bad as though as the last year's Men's Survivor Series match, where you know, we don't even need to get into that one, but it was better than last year's. So
Yeah, well, much better.
Then you had Raw versus SmackDown. Was Ronda Rousey versus SmackDown Charlotte Flair. My favorite match of the night. It would have been Bryan versus Brock, but I'll get into why that wasn't my favorite match of the night later on in the probably in a couple minutes or so. So you talked about though the no selling of Jessamine Duke going into the post. I need to call something out. Ronda Rousey no selling the knee right after she was put in the figure eight for like 5 minutes across like the apron and stuff, and just forgetting that her knee was hurt. So that was really weird. But anyhow, pretty much they have a hell of a match. I guess Ronda Rousey's like Samoan drop finisher really isn't a finisher because like everybody like no sells that move. Like, so it's not really much of a finisher. So pretty much what happens is Charlotte Flair starts to act like a heel by not wanting to go into the ring, and then Ronda Rousey goes out after her, and Charlotte Flair hits her with a kendo stick, which causes a DQ. Which I didn't really mind the finish because obviously this protects both of them. Ronda Rousey doesn't have to lose, and Charlotte Flair doesn't have to lose, and obviously this is setting up some sort of match at the Royal Rumble probably, or the Triple Threat at WrestleMania with Becky Lynch they're talking about.
It could, yeah. I would like that.
I would rather the one-on-one match with Becky and Ronda because we were robbed of that originally, and then the one-on-one match with Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey. But we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, pretty much Charlotte Flair though beats the crap out of Ronda Rousey, throws her into the steps, hits her with a kendo stick, grabs a steel chair, beats the crap out of her with that. She's attacking referees for trying to stop her. I mentioned this because this is going to play into SmackDown when we review it.
Yeah.
She puts the chair around her neck and stomps onto the chair. And then Charlotte Flair leaves. I don't think she put her in the figure eight again. I think she just left. And then Ronda Rousey left. And yeah, Ronda Rousey's pretty much Charlotte Flair was cheered and Ronda Rousey was booed, and it was in Ronda Rousey's pretty much hometown. So Ronda Rousey's being exposed a little bit because now she's starting to get booed now. So that's definitely interesting. But I really like this. I like the match. I like the segment afterwards. I give it 4 3/4.
I thought it was decent enough. I mean, I like the way it finished. I like the finish. I thought it was unique.
Yeah, definitely. And it's Charlotte Flair. We'll get into that. I thought she was a heel, but now I'm not really sure yet.
I'm not too sure about that anymore.
But we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. So, but yeah, I was happy about this. And then we had the main event. So how funny is it that now that AJ Styles isn't the WWE champion, the WWE title can make the main event slot now? I thought that was funny. Obviously, it's because Brock's in the match, so that was a big enough reason. But it was Raw versus SmackDown champion versus champion match. Raw's Universal Champion Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman ringside versus SmackDown's WWE Champion Daniel Bryan with nobody ringside because he almost said he was ringside with someone, but nobody was with him. I forgot to mention Bryan tried to interview Bryan in this show, but he didn't say anything. He just did his evil smile and walked away. And I did like Daniel Bryan. I'd imagine he's going to get new theme music soon, but they're keeping the theme song at the moment. But he teases like he's going to do the yes chance, and then he doesn't. And he walks to the ring like he's like Spider-Man, which was pretty cool.
I love that.
Yeah, I hope he does that. I hope he does that more. And Brock Lesnar comes out, and Daniel Bryan's taunting at Brock Lesnar, trying to get him to attack him. But Brock Lesnar doesn't buy it. And then Daniel Bryan and Brock Lesnar, the match starts. Bryan gets a kick in, and he tries to go to Brock Lesnar to attack him. But Bryan continues to escape each time. And then Brock Lesnar finally hits the German suplex, which scared me. I thought. So pretty much the reason why this match isn't I'm not rated and higher is because I was so scared because I thought Brian I thought Brian broke his neck like a handful of times in this match.
I
So
literally was like, okay, enough, stop.
yeah. Um, it was the first German suplex, and then it was because I noticed afterwards he didn't do as many German suplex. He did more belly to back suplexes because that's probably safer for Daniel Bryan.
Oh yeah, because he's landing like ass.
Yeah. But then there was another German suplex that he does where like Bryan really lands on his neck, and that one scared me even more. You notice too, I think they were very safe with this match because normally with Brock matches he just does German suplex after German suplex, but they stopped the match like a couple of minutes to make sure Bryan was like okay,
Oh no, yeah.
um. And I think at that point, like Bryan pretty much was the heel in this match up until he got dropped on his neck the first time. I think that he turned babyface pretty much right afterwards. So it's like, because pretty much everyone like wanted to make sure he was gonna like not get injured forever. So, at least in my heart, he was the babyface. So, and then Brock Lesnar hits the F5 the first time. And obviously, Brock Lesnar's not done toying with him yet, so he lifts his head up before the 3 count goes down, and then he goes for another F5, but Bryan lands on his feet, which knocks out the referee. Bryan low blows Brock Lesnar, hits the running knee, covers up, and I actually thought Bryan was going to pull it out, but it didn't happen, which made me sad. And then pretty much the match. Pretty much the match was a back and forth match. Bryan goes after the injured knee of Brock Lesnar. He throws him into the post. He hits his running knee off the apron. And then he hits another running knee on Brock, gets him in the yes lock. But Brock turns it into an F5 and wins the match. And then afterwards, Daniel Bryan has that evil smile and walks away and leaves still a heel. I like the match, though. I'll give it 4 stars. If I watched the match again, it would probably get 4.5, but because, I'm rating it off like me being scared, it gets 4 stars. So, what do you think? Yeah, I mean, it's scary. That was definitely a scary match, though. So, and then and then that survived. We forgot to rate the whole show. If I had to rate, if I had to rate, if I had to rate Survivor Series, I'd give it a B minus. What would have made the show better is if the men's 5-on-5 didn't piss me off, and that SmackDown could have at least won some of the matches. It's really surprising that SmackDown didn't win any of the matches on the main show. Like they went 6-0, and I was surprised mainly because SmackDown's going to Fox next year, and they pretty much just buried SmackDown. They pretty much told everybody that SmackDown's not even the B show. That's like the D show right there.
As soon as Stephanie said, if you don't sweep, you're fired, instantly I knew they were sweeping.
Yeah, and so and then I think that kind of ruined like the last couple of matches too, because you knew Raw was sweeping once it got to like the last 3 matches. So,
oh yeah,
I'll give it a B minus though, because I really like Nakamura versus Rollins. The cruiserweight match was very good, and then obviously I feel like to the last 2 matches, Ronda and Charlotte and Brock and Bryan definitely made it a B minus show too. Without those 2 matches, this would have been like a C show too.
a B.
You giving it just a flat out B?
Flat out B.
Okay.
No plus, no minus, just in the middle.
What did you are you giving it a B because of Drake Maverick peeing his pants too?
Drake Maverick pissing his pants makes us a A+ show.
Okay.
But I give it a B because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
Yeah, exactly. But now can we just say too, what's the point of doing Raw versus SmackDown now? Because Raw's beating SmackDown 3 years in a row. Like this really
is sweep.
Yeah. So there's no. I hope next year they don't do Raw versus SmackDown anymore.
I hope they sweep again.
So now let's get to Monday Night Raw from last week. I gotta find my notes.
Yeah, find them. You can just go online and take.
So Raw took. So Raw took place last week on November 19th, 2018. We had this Raw commentary team, the same commentary team that was the Raw commentary team at Survivor Series. Show starts off with Baron Corbin. He gloats about the Monday Night Raw clean sweep in Survivor Series. So he brings out the person responsible for leading Team Raw, Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie McMahon comes out. She gloats for a while. And Baron Corbin then says he promises an action-packed Raw, which we kind of didn't get. And says that first he wants to take care of some business because Stephanie McMahon promised that if Raw clean sweeps SmackDown, he would become the permanent Raw GM. And then Braun Strowman interrupts, and he wants his stipulations to be met. So Stephanie McMahon makes a match at TLC that might not even happen now. Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin. And if Braun Strowman loses, he loses all power. But if he wins, he becomes the permanent Raw GM. But if Braun Strowman wins, he gets the Universal title match at the Royal Rumble. Which that kind of doesn't make any sense because that was part of Strowman's stipulations.
I think he's getting the match of the Royal Rumble, though.
Huh?
I think he is getting the match of the Royal Rumble.
No, because if you go on the card, it says that if Braun Strowman wins, he gets the title match at the Royal Rumble. So, which is really weird, but we don't even. But I'm not even gonna like critique that really because we don't even know if the match is gonna happen yet. So, so then Baron Corbin says he's still the active Raw GM. Tries to put Braun Strowman in a 2-on-1 handicap match with Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley, but Stephanie McMahon randomly decides not to be a heel and put. I just noticed, like Stephanie McMahon she just decides whatever she wants to be. Sometimes she's a face, sometimes she's a heel.
They just said, "Hey, you know what? She's a face now."
Yeah. So she makes a 6-man tag team match with Braun Strowman, Elias, and Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre. And Baron Corbin's not happy about this, obviously. So whatever. So yeah, Stephanie McMahon, I guess, wasn't on Baron Corbin's side this night. So there's that. I thought it was a good opening segment though, but just Stephanie McMahon just needs to start making decisions about what she wants to be. Are you a face? Are you a heel? Are you nothing? So we had the 6-man, and apparently during commercial break, Baron Corbin made it an elimination match because he was in the Survivor.
He has some power still.
Yeah. So, which made no sense because why didn't Stephanie McMahon come out and just say, "What? No, not why is this elimination? No, it's just a regular tag team match."
This is regular. This is what regular people do. We're the regulars.
So Elias does his concert performance, which was awesome because Elias is awesome. And the match breaks down. The heels get the heat on
relatively quickly.
Yeah. So I don't know. So I don't know what. How did this hurt Baron Corbin then? Because Finn Balor gets eliminated because he's irrelevant. So he's got to get eliminated first by the Claymore kick. They're also doing a feud between Drew McIntyre and Finn Balor, which is a waste of everybody's time because we know who's winning that feud anyways. So why bother? And then Lashley spears Elias on the outside, causing him to get counted out, which I did like that because that protected Elias in the way because he didn't get pinned or anything. I do gotta say though that Elias needs to develop a babyface moveset because he still doesn't have one yet. He's still just doing punches and knees and all that. So.
Oh yeah.
And then pretty much Braun Strowman's just left to himself, which I didn't feel bad for him because it's Braun Strowman. He's fine. At least we thought so, anyways. He hits the power slam on Baron Corbin, goes to eliminate him, and hits. Drew McIntyre hits him in the arm with the chair. Now, this doesn't make any sense. It causes Drew McIntyre to get out, but since Baron Corbin's legal, wouldn't he be out, not Drew McIntyre? Because that's how it works in the video game. Yeah. Like Baron Corbin would be out, but they were like, "Oh, Drew McIntyre is out." That's not how this stuff works. But anyhow, apparently too, like I guess the referees forgot there was a match because the match is just over and they just beat the crap out of not Baron Corbin, Braun Strowman. And apparently too, they did this to write Braun Strowman off so he can get a surgery. Because of course they had to hit him in the arm just to show that he's having a surgery on his arm. So, Yeah, so we don't know what's going to happen. I'd imagine that that even if the match doesn't happen on TLC, it's going to Braun Strowman probably will be back by the Royal Rumble. It will just happen on Raw, and they'll do the. It would pretty much be like the CM Punk thing where he was hurt, and they just did the TLC match on Raw. That's pretty much
Yeah.
something like that. I don't know why though. Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman were getting the TLC stip. I think the TLC stip should go to Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, but whatever. Um, and then what I didn't like about this match though was they wasted an hour of a time just for the match not to have a finish. Like, why would you do something?
Yeah.
Like it's like what? I think 3 commercial breaks happened during this match just for it not to have a finish. So,
But
yeah.
let's just lump all the Ambrose and Rollins shit together into one
Yeah.
because it happened 3 separate times.
Yeah. You want to talk about this stuff? Because you're probably dying to talk about the Seth Rollins Dean Ambrose.
Okay. Well, so as you all know, my heart has been shattered in about 50 million pieces. But I found the latter part of the skit to be entertaining. What I don't agree with is them feeling like they should have brought up the leukemia.
Yeah, exactly.
That to me is classless in so many different ways. Saying that it's up to God's hands now.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck? Like I get like trying to get heat on yourself, but like to do it that way, to bring up the fact that he has fucking cancer, like fuck off. Like
No, it's even worse because they're pretty much trying to say that like Roman Reigns is getting what's coming to. So they're pretty much saying that Roman Reigns is like deserving of getting cancer. Like no one deserves cancer.
Which is fucked up. That's fucked up on so many different levels. Like, good God.
And it's not like they needed to do this. People were saying that Ambrose was getting cheered, other than the Starrcade show last night. But he was going to get cheered last night because it was in his hometown.
Yeah.
He was getting booed he was getting booed pretty heavily.
Did you see that Chronicle?
I didn't see the Chronicle yet.
It is the fucking craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It's literally, it's all over the place.
Yeah, I have to watch it.
He talks about retirement. He talks about I don't know how much longer I can do this for.
Yeah.
They show him turning on Seth, and then him going to Germany and saying that he didn't like Germany to begin with.
Yeah.
Like, it's just all over the place. But
yeah, I mean,
so they show Seth Rollins trying to chase after Dean.
Yeah.
And Dean just keeps running away because he's the cowardly heel who keeps running away.
I did like the bit though with where like he's being interviewed and Dean Ambrose walks by and Titus O'Neil comes up and he's like, Dean was just here.
Right.
I like how of course they throw in Titus for that too.
And so over the period of time, periodically through the night, they would cut to Ambrose, and Ambrose was like, this is where we spent a lot of our time, and it was in the hallway. It was in the where they used to cut their promos from, in the stairwell. And Seth shuts the door. He looks at the door and says, "Burn it down," as a way to taunt him. And what I thought was going to happen was he was going to be locked in there and he couldn't get out with the rest of the show.
That would have been fun.
Because those doors always lock behind you.
Yeah.
So I was like, how the hell is he going to get out? He's locked behind that door now.
I'm guessing he just walked downstairs or something.
But he's distraught. He doesn't have his ring gear on anymore. For some reason, he had it on to begin with, even though he didn't wrestle on the show. And he leaves because he couldn't find Ambrose.
Yeah.
So, in the entire time, Ambrose now is back by a forklift, and he keeps screaming, "What's this smell? What's that smell?" I know I shouldn't laugh at that because it's a fucking joke about the wildfires happening in California. I know I'm not supposed to laugh at that, but I couldn't help but laugh.
Yeah, it was funny.
But so he comes out with the rag too, which made it even funnier.
The funny thing is too
like
is
a fucking crazy man. What's that smell? What's that smell?
Yeah.
Seriously. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Like other than that line about the leukemia, I've loved the new heel Dean Ambrose. Like he's just an asshole who just doesn't care about anybody.
He doesn't care about anyone but himself.
Yeah,
That to me, that was actually pretty funny.
yeah, and I think it's just like it's revamped his character a bit too because he was getting stale as a babyface too.
Oh yeah, definitely revamped his character, and then of course Rollins comes out and they start brawling, and instead of getting answers, obviously,
Yeah.
every
But
baby
at that point, Rollins didn't want any. Rollins didn't want any answers at that point, though. So
he got hit in the dick.
yeah,
His poor dick got destroyed, just like every other baby face in the roster. Their poor dicks.
I'm guessing the baby faces have to start wearing cups now or something because.
But and then everyone hits the dirty deeds. And the
Twice.
one thing I don't agree with though is the crowd after Ambrose had made fun of the fact that there was wildfires going on around them by saying, "What's that smell?" They proceeded to chant one more time.
Yeah.
One more time. And that pissed me off.
Exactly. Especially to
one thing, that's the villain.
Yeah. Also, he just made the Roman Reigns leukemia.
He made a joke out of Roman Reigns having leukemia, and then you want to chant one more time? Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
After all, he made fun of them, and he made fun of California for having wildfires.
Yeah. But
that's I pretty much just covered half the fucking show.
I do gotta say though, even though they had the Roman Reigns leukemia thing, I still loved everything that happened with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, minus that.
Good.
Yeah.
I really don't care. I didn't really care about anything that happened on the show, so
I'll just break it. I break it down real quick. You had Sasha Banks and Bayley lose to Tamina Snuka and Nia Jax with Alexa Bliss on commentary. One line I want to mention is I did like how Michael Cole just randomly said how Alexa Bliss and Nia are all cool now, and in my head I was thinking, of course they are, because Nia Jax is a heel now, so obviously they're gonna be cool.
They're gonna be best friends again.
Yeah. Blake Maverick got made fun of for peeing his pants at Survivor Series. Whatever. The Lucha House Party beat the Revival. For some reason, they were allowed to all three be in the ring. That didn't make any sense.
Baby faces.
Yeah.
Get the advantage. It's like I guess like New Day gets a pass.
No, but the Lucha House, at least with the New Day though, they never actually all three compete in the ring at the same time though. It's usually just two of them. But like the Lucha House Party was literally all three. It was a 3-on-2 handicap match.
It was.
Ronda Rousey
came out. Baby faces.
Ronda Rousey came out and cut a promo talking about her injuries and said she wanted to be a fighting champion because if you can't defend your title, you shouldn't be champion. Which obviously, Brock Lesnar, if he was watching the show, which is most likely he wasn't, should have taken notes. Or maybe Ronda Rousey's got to take notes on Brock Lesnar because she should just do the Brock Lesnar title reign.
Oh, I know.
She wants an open challenge. And what I got out of this segment is I don't think Baron Corbin likes it when you offer an open challenge because every time you do, he cuts you off. Like he's like, no,
not allowed.
So he tries not to have it happen, but then Ronda Rousey pretty much says, either you get me a challenger or I'm going to beat the crap out of you. And Baron Corbin's so scared about getting beaten up by Ronda Rousey. He goes to find a challenger. Mickie James, she gets squashed in like 5 minutes. See you later, Mickie James. Never come back.
Nice knowing you.
Whatever. Bobby Roode and Chad Gable beat AOP, which I didn't like. It was just dumb on so many different levels. And then you had the B team. Then you had the B team doing the Black Friday sale. Because, Black Friday was like last week. But then and then Natalya beat Ruby Riott, which I didn't care about because this feud. See, I'm not as offended about the Dean Ambrose Seth Rollins thing too because they're also doing a feud about a dead wrestler, so it's just kind of like you have to kind of accept it at this point. So it's like,
yeah, it's pretty tasteless.
Yeah, so whatever. Whatever.
Whatever.
Raw though, I gave Raw like I gave Raw a C plus because it's really tough to crap on this show because half of the show was like that 6-man tag and Ambrose and Rollins. So
Yeah.
by mathematical perspective, it's a C plus.
Yeah, it's a C plus.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I did like the Ronda Rousey stuff too. But yeah, everything else on Raw pretty much was just filler and nothing important.
For the most part, yeah.
Then you had SmackDown from last week on November 20th, 2018. You already know who's on commentary because I said the SmackDown commentary team had Survivor Series, so whatever. Charlotte Flair came out and did a promo. So this is why we don't know what she is, because she was a baby face, but she had some heel mannerisms about her. She had a little bit of an edge.
Oh yeah, for sure.
She pretty much said that she's not going to apologize for beating the crap out of Ronda Rousey, and says that she'd do it again if she had the opportunity. And she didn't just do it for the SmackDown woman and for herself. She did it for Becky Lynch. She talks about how she's fought with and against Becky Lynch over a lot over the years, but she fought for her at Survivor Series. And then Paige comes out and says that she fined Charlotte Flair like $100,000 for beating up the referees. And then the Iconics come out and make fun of Charlotte Flair, so Charlotte Flair wants to fight them. So she beats Bayley Kay in a squash match, essentially. And then she wants to fight Peyton Royce. And obviously Peyton Royce doesn't want to get in there, which I don't blame Peyton Royce. And then Peyton Royce gets destroyed. But then when she's about to lose, the Iconics attack her, and Charlotte Flair just beats the shit out of him.
Essentially, yeah.
So what'd you think about that?
I thought it was pretty funny.
I thought I was sad for Peyton Royce, though, that she had to take that beating.
Yeah.
To poor Peyton Royce. But
poor Peyton Royce.
yeah, I guess Charlotte Flair's a baby face with a little bit of an edge behind her, too. So
yeah, I think I'll set up an eventual 4 horsewomen thing.
Yeah. I am happy about that, though, because Charlotte Flair needed like a character change, and she's not a heel, but she's pretty much a tweener, I would say. So
yeah.
Then Rey Mysterio's backstage doing a promo, and he talks about how he's wrestled all of the best in the world everywhere he's ever gone, but he's never met somebody like Randy Orton, who's sadistic and twisted. And he said that he's seen what Randy Orton's done to his past victims, and he doesn't want to be like one of those victims. So he's gonna beat Randy Orton and have that fighting spirit, which obviously didn't happen. But good. Rey Mysterio though had hope though. He had the good fighting spirit. He had good lucha thins. So
he does good lucha things.
I'll let you cover the Miz TV segment with Shane McMahon.
Funny.
Do you know what happened?
It funnied.
Miz comes out and he brings out Shane McMahon and he pretty much kisses up to Shane McMahon and he wants to be Shane McMahon's tag team partner since they're both technically the best friend. Since they're both technically the best in the world. Because technically the Miz is 2/3 the best in the world.
He is 2/3 best in the world.
So Shane McMahon at first says no. Because, Miz has obligations as like a performer and an actor, and Shane's got obligations as the commissioner of SmackDown. But Miz is like, oh, well, that's too bad because I already had Paige book a match. Which this didn't make any sense because why wouldn't Shane just say, I'm the commissioner, this match ain't happening? So,
yeah. That's so random.
Yeah. But the Miz and Shane McMahon fight the Blind Brothers, who are just a couple of enhancement talent. But Miz claims they're the best tag team in the world, though. So the Young Bucks apparently are not as good as this team. New Day, nah. Bod, nah.
Nah.
Revival, nah. The B Team, nah. The Undisputed Era, nope. This team, the Blythe Brothers are the Blythe Brothers are the best tag team in the world. You want to talk about this match?
It had a thing. A thing happened in it. Miz and Shane tried to be buddy, and yeah, Miz got rolled up for the pin,
He lost.
and he lost.
So you know how we talked about how at any enhancement match, usually the enhancement loses? Not on this night.
Nope, they won.
I was fine with this though. You know, it's setting up probably a WrestleMania match between The Miz and Shane McMahon, which I don't really want to see, but whatever. Whatever. Then the New Day's backstage, and the one into the gobbledygooker who's disguised as R-Truth. No, I'm sorry, R-Truth is disguised as the gobbledygooker. I'll let you talk about this match because I don't wanna. The New Day versus Showbar in a Thanksgiving feast fight.
It was embarrassing on all sorts of levels. Yeah.
Yeah.
It happened.
New Day wins because pretty much in any type of holiday-themed street fight, the faces always win. So, yeah.
They pretty much embarrassed Cesaro.
Yeah. And the Big Show, but that's nothing new.
But Big Show's
we still don't know why Big Show. Oh, Big Show, by the way, turned heel again on this show too.
He's a heel again.
We just still don't know why he's a heel. Why is it why is he with the bar? We don't know.
No one knows.
Except the bar. Maybe they don't know though. Randy Orton's backstage, and he says that the luchador mask represents, what it's supposed to represent. But to him, that it's just a worthless piece of crap. He doesn't say worthless piece of crap, but that's pretty much what he implied. And he said that he's gonna rip the mask off of Rey Mysterio and erase Rey Mysterio from WWE. Not with a literal eraser, but more of a figurative type of sense.
No, with a bigger.
Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville lost to the Empress of Glow, and the Empress of Glow, they won. And Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville are having issues working together.
Yeah.
Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville are gonna break up, and what a great idea! You're gonna bring in women's tag team titles, break up a tag team. It's a great idea. If you're breaking up a tag team, why not?
It's great.
We forgot to mention that they've been showing the Lars Sullivan vignettes. We forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
He's coming. He'll do well for like 2 months, and then he'll start losing every match he's ever in. And then I'll let you talk about Daniel Bryan's first promo since turning heel.
Because he is what? He's what? What is he?
He's a heel.
He's the real He's the new Daniel Bryan.
Yep.
He came out and basically denounced the Yes Movement. He cut a promo in the third person, which I thought was fucking amazing.
Yep.
Just goes to show you, like, he can play both ends of the spectrum.
Oh yeah.
He can be the good guy that everyone loves and emulates and wants and looks up to. Then he can be the asshole. Now he's the asshole.
I think he's better at being the asshole, actually.
He's great at both, but him being the asshole is unique because he hasn't been the asshole in like 15 years.
Yeah.
When he was in Ring of Honor. When he became Ring of Honor heavyweight champion, he was a fucking asshole in Ring of Honor. People hated him.
Well, he was a heel when he was the world heavyweight champion the first time.
Yeah, but he wasn't like. That's when the Yes Movement started.
Yeah, true.
So he was an asshole in Ring of Honor when he became heavyweight champion for the first time, and everyone hated him. And now he's kind of put a twist on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Where he's calling himself, the new Daniel Bryan, talking in the third person, which I love. Because I thought he was going to call himself by his actual real name.
Yeah, exactly.
By Bryan Danielson again, but no, he's going to stay Daniel Bryan.
And from this point, we've decided to call him the new Daniel Bryan.
He's the new Daniel Bryan. And it's a unique gimmick because it's something he's never done in WWE before.
Yeah, exactly.
It's something new. It's something fresh. I mean, he was still massively over before this, but he also called himself weak, he called the old Daniel Bryan weak because of because he had to retire,
Yeah.
and he hates himself for retiring and having to come back. But I'm just excited to see what happens on SmackDown tomorrow
Yeah,
night
exactly.
with him.
Uh,
In case if
especially
you're
to
wondering, this is Monday, so Monday Night Raw is on in less than 4 hours.
yeah.
If you're watching this on the day that we're doing it live, it is Monday at it's almost 5 o'clock now. But
I'm
Raw's
excited.
tonight and SmackDown's tomorrow for us.
This does put like a little bit of intrigue too, because I'm wondering too if they're gonna have the Miz go face and do Miz versus Bryan with the roles reversed now too.
That'll be something different. It'd be pretty unique.
Because pretty much everything that the Miz said about Daniel Bryan now has been proven correct.
It's proven true. And did you see they actually had a match in the
Oh,
dark?
really?
The dark match was Miz and Bryan, where Miz was the face and Bryan was the heel.
So maybe you could tell they're experimenting then.
They worked because I posted it in the chat. It was after the show. Miz praised the crowd and said that this is the loudest reaction I've ever gotten in my career.
You could tell like they're slowly turning him face too,
Yeah.
because even though like he's still even though he's still like acting like a heel, he acknowledges the crowd a little bit more and stuff now too.
And he basically thanked the Los Angeles crowd for showing up to TakeOver, Survivor Series, Raw, and SmackDown. And basically said, have a safe night home, have a safe drive home, and good night.
But that's it. But that's it. That's gonna be awesome though if we get to see that, like the Miz as the face and Bryan as the heel, like
something that we've never seen before.
Because like they can't be in an alliance with each other because they're just so different. But like that would be, and whoever would have thought too, like a year ago, Daniel Bryan would not only would be back wrestling, but back as a heel.
I know something different.
Yeah, exactly. And I did like though how he even talk about how the old Daniel Bryan was, finally beaten out of him by Brock Lesnar too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
because that definitely happened.
Oh yeah, it was. It was. It was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. Well, Daniel Bryan is awesome, and whoever would have thought too, like a couple months ago, the two biggest baby faces, Johnny Gargano and Daniel Bryan, would be heels right now.
Oh, I know, crazy.
Like that's just weird. And then R-Truth and Carmella do Black Friday advertisements because Black Friday was coming up, so they had to do that. Then Rey Mysterio wrestled Randy Orton, and Rey Mysterio started out on fire, but then Randy Orton cut him down. He tried to rip his mask off a lot because he wanted the mask. He nearly ripped it off, but Rey Mysterio fought out of it. Then Rey Mysterio mounted a comeback. He hit the 619, but when he went for his springboard frog splash, Randy Orton rolled out of the ring because he's a heel and that's what heels do. Unless you're Charlotte Flair.
Yep.
Then he goes for his suicide dive splash that he's been hitting since he's been back, but then Randy Orton, which I thought was awesome, catches him into an RKO.
Murder.
Puts him in the ring, grabs him by his mask, hits another RKO, obviously gets the win because if you get two RKOs, you ain't kicking out of it unless you're like John Cena in 2012.
Yeah, out of everything.
And then afterwards, he beats up Rey Mysterio some more because he's not just satisfied with the win. He puts a chair around Rey Mysterio's neck and takes his mask off in the process and throws it into the post. And he leaves with Rey Mysterio's mask, which obviously we know they're going to do a blow-off match at TOC because they wouldn't have done this otherwise. Unless Rey Mysterio is just like, you know what, I'm done with that, I'm moving on, but that's not happening. So, yeah, that was a good way to end SmackDown. Made Randy Orton look like more of an asshole, and so now he's got a weird mask fetish now too. So
he's got an extremely weird mask fetish.
What's weird though is on 205 Live, TJP has a mask fetish, but not anywhere near the levels of Randy Orton right now though. So, where he's ripping at people's masks,
fingering people's ear holes, and breaking people's fingers.
I think Pete Dunne and TJP and whatever other wrestler likes ears need to take notes on Randy Orton.
They do.
Yeah, Randy Orton is probably the best heel on SmackDown. Well, the second now best heel on SmackDown because Daniel Bryan's a heel now. But we forgot to mention too that at TLC it's going to be Daniel Bryan defending the WWE Championship against AJ Styles. I'm guessing they're just going to do a one-on-one match because they forgot that they can do all types of matches at TLC. So,
Dean versus Seth.
yeah, we forgot to mention that too. And like I said, they're just going to do a one-on-one match because they forgot they can just do a regular. They can do any types of match. So, SmackDown I thought was a good show. I give it a B-.
I give it a B. It was a pretty good show.
Where's my notes for? Okay, so now 205 Live. I'll run through that real quick. And obviously, the same people on commentary for the 205 Live commentary team at Survivor Series because they're the 205 Live commentary team. They're there every week. Not every 3 weeks. Every week.
Every week.
It took place on November 21st, 2018, because they taped 205 Live and aired on Wednesdays now, which I hear has been a better success, which is good.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's gonna go away because Mixed Match Challenge is over soon, and I hope they don't. I hope they just leave it the way it is.
They probably will.
Buddy Murphy comes out and he gloats about his victory at Survivor Series because he's a heel and heels like to gloat. So, I guess faces don't ever gloat. They just like, yeah, I won. There you go. Faces are just like, whatever. And then it leads to a match with Tony Nese and Noam Dar. And Noam Dar wanted this match because he feels like he hasn't been focused as much lately because he's been cross-promoted between two brands, that being NXT UK and 205 Live. And he said that if he beats Tony Nese, it brings him one step closer to a Cruiserweight title match because he beat Buddy Murphy's friend. And they have a match. It's a good match. And during the match, Noam Dar takes a cheap shot at Buddy Murphy. And Buddy Murphy later on sweeps the leg of Noam Dar, which causes Nese to hit the running Nese in the corner and get the win. And afterwards, Buddy Murphy beats up Noam Dar some more because he's a heel. So I thought the match was good and the segment was good. Then Mustafa Ali does a promo, and he talks about how he's going to use this pain of losing at Survivor Series to motivate him to win the Cruiserweight Championship. It was a very good promo. Mustafa Ali's definitely improved on the mic, but it's not like he was ever given much chance to really cut promos before, Triple H took over 205 Live. So then Drake Maverick's backstage, and you can tell that 205 Live is not really associated with Raw because him peeing his pants was not brought up at all. So. Nope. And he's talking to the referee backstage, and he wants to make sure that Maria Kanellis doesn't have anything planned for TJP versus Grand Metalik. And then Cedric Alexander walks in, and Drake Maverick makes a match for next week, the biggest tag team match in 205 Live history, where it's going to be Cedric Alexander teaming up with Mustafa Ali versus Buddy Murphy and Tony Nese. That match makes sense because everybody in that match is feuding with each other. Buddy Murphy with Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali, Tony Nese with Cedric Alexander, and obviously could set up something with Cedric turning on Mustafa Ali or the vice versa. Then Akira Tozawa and Lee Brian Hendrick defeat Jobbers. They're a tag team now because they're feuding with Gulak and Gallagher. They got interviewed backstage because they were watching it on the monitor. And obviously, if you've ever seen a WWE show, you know that the guys can't watch the monitors properly. They watch it sideways. And they pretty much are upset with Kendrick because he's teaming up with a scoundrel like Akira Tozawa. And they won. Lee Brian Kendrick messed up the sliced bread number 2. I don't know if it was the guy he was hitting it on or himself, but whatever. And afterwards, they screamed together. And then Buddy Murphy and Tony Nese are backstage, and they talk about their tag team match coming up. Dasha Fuentes asked about if they're going to win next week. And they pretty much say that it was a stupid question by asking another stupid question. When are we going to get Cruiserweight tag team titles? Because everybody knows that if you read the wrestling reports, they keep saying they're going to come, but they never show up.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So I did like that was brought up. And pretty much Buddy Murphy says that he's beaten Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali singularly, and he's just going to beat him at the same time. And then Tony Nese looks at Dasha Fuentes and is like, "Come on, Dasha, you got to ask better questions than that." That was funny. And then you had Grand Metalik versus TJP. Mike and Maria actually no, Mike and TJP come out and they're dressed in the luchador masks, and obviously that was very disrespectful to the Lucha House Party. So Drake Maverick kicks everybody backstage except for Grand Metalik and TJP because they're having a match, and you can't kick them backstage. Because you look like a weird GM if you kick the guys that are supposed to be in a match backstage. That would be weird. I bet though they've done it before though, so and they have a really good match, obviously, because if you've ever seen any Grand Metalik TJP match, you obviously know they're going to have a great match. They did mess up the straight jacket gutbuster thing because I think TJP couldn't lift up Grand Metalik, so Grand Metalik won with a roll up, and afterwards Maria Kanellis comes out with a mic and is all upset because Drake Maverick ruined their plans. But we find out it was just used as a distraction. So Mike Kanellis. You have to remember to say Mike Kanellis because you can't call him by his real name. I always mean to do that, but you can't do that.
Nope.
No, you can't do that. That's not his name in WWE.
Like Bennett.
No, you can't do that.
Like Bennett.
No, you can't. Mike Kanellis.
Like Bennett.
Mike Kanellis and TJP.
Like Bennett.
Mike and TJP pretty much beat the crap out of the Lucha House Party. See, you couldn't do the Bennett on that one too because I said and they beat the crap out of the Lucha House Party.
Out of the Bennett.
So that was pretty much 205 Live. Really good show. I thought it was better than any of the main roster shows that took place because it's 205 Live. It's on a different direction, so you can't really give any input. One thing you can give input on, because you haven't been able to talk about this on video recording, what are your thoughts on Mike Kanellis being involved in 205 Live?
Monday Night Mike.
You don't like it?
Monday Night Mike.
No, 205 Live Mike now.
Monday Night Mike.
Nope, 205 Live Mike.
Monday Night Mike.
But anyhow, what do you really think about it?
Great. Monday Night Mike.
How can it be Monday Night Mike? He's not even on Raw anymore. He's on 205 Live. Okay, I guess I have to just. Do I have to just let the? I guess I'll just have to let this slide.
Yes.
So 205 Live though gets just a solid B. Really good show. And then we have Starrcade, and then we're done with this show until the next one. Gotta find my notes. Okay. I'll let you talk.
Are we gonna cover just the ones that were on the network?
Well, I did write the ones that I watched via cell phone footage. Bray Wyatt's return in the cage match with Rollins and Ambrose. Those were the only ones I was able to watch because they were the only ones that were available for me to watch.
I didn't cover any. I only saw that the matches that were shown that they wanted to show.
Okay. Yeah, please show more. Don't do that anymore. Just show the whole show. Like, think about WWE. They have the right to use Starrcade, but they won't. They're like being petty about it. They won't even show the whole show on the network. Like, whatever. I'll let you cover the first segment, Elias's performance.
It was okay. It was ruined by Nia Jax.
Obviously.
She thought she was being hilarious, but in reality, it was not even remotely funny.
No.
Ric
Flair was there.
Ric Flair was there.
He's probably in heaven because women were there.
And then Elias said that he has 4 friends that will come out and beat them up. Randomly, Dana Brooke was in that for some reason. I don't know why.
I think it's.
And I said, "Why is Dana Brooke in there?"
Yeah, I think it's tough to really like put logic because it's supposed to be a house show, so technically this isn't supposed to be seen. But yeah, why is Dana Brooke in there? So
why is Dana Brooke randomly a face for the 463rd time this year?
Yeah. And then it leads to the 8-woman tag. You want to talk about the 8-woman tag?
It was meh.
Sasha Banks tapped out Alicia Fox with a bank statement. So it was. By the way, they picked. It was really weird. They picked Tom Phillips and Byron Saxton to be on commentary. 2 face commentators. So.
I know that really threw me off.
Yeah. And then Samoa Joe does a promo talking about how he's going to beat up AJ Styles and he's not going to walk out of the steel cage, which is very concerning for AJ Styles. Then we had Miz TV with Shinsuke Nakamura and Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio was in a neck brace selling the injuries from SmackDown. But, he just got his neck thrown into a chair. You obviously have to sell those injuries. And Rey Mysterio and The Miz get into a argument. And Nakamura takes a cheap shot. They have a U.S. title match. I think they should have done a title change just to make people watch this show. And it's not like Nakamura is doing anything with the U.S. title anyways. So, but Rey Mysterio goes for the Cena. Goes for the Cena senton off the apron, but accidentally hits the Miz, and then the Miz takes a cheap shot. They beat up Rey Mysterio. Rusev and Lana went out. They remembered Rusev existed apparently. And Lana challenges them to a tag team match. Rey Mysterio and Rusev versus Shinsuke Nakamura and The Miz. I'm saying that so people won't think that Lana was in the match. So, obviously, Rey Mysterio and Rusev won because it's Rusev Day. Rusev has to win on his holiday. And I thought it was a fine tag team match. Then we had the steel cage match, Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles. Good cage match. Good match.
I like the camera angle here.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And I
had this weird feeling of a house show, but it was pretty cool.
And I noticed the cage looks different when it's a house show versus like a regular steel cage too.
It does, and I liked it.
Yeah. And AJ Styles went for a phenomenal forearm off the cage, but Joe caught him in a belly-to-back suplex, which was awesome. And AJ Styles gets Samoa Joe in the calf crusher, and Samoa Joe tries to use the ropes for leverage. Not the ropes for leverage, the ropes for a rope break, but because it's a cage match, ropes don't count. So Yep. Samoa Joe ends up tapping out, and AJ Styles wins. Apparently, this was his first match back since he lost the WWE title. I doubt that. I think he's probably wrestled since then, but this is the first time we've seen him.
That's
Oh, it was? Okay, there you go.
Right now.
Because I think like we should talk about this too. AJ Styles' contract is going to be different probably in a few months. He's probably going to have the Randy Orton schedule pretty much, which
his contract's off, I think, after WrestleMania.
Yeah,
but they're in a bit of a contract dispute right now.
Yeah, I'd imagine he's probably going to do the Randy Orton schedule.
He's trying to do the Randy Orton thing where I think it's less house shows.
Yeah.
Instead of Ryan too.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Nothing will change when it comes to like television. You'll see him every week on TV.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna change. That you won't see him as much on house shows.
Yeah, which I'm fine with, obviously. So
basically, it won't change for the people watching Raw or SmackDown every week.
Yeah,
depending on which brand they're on.
And then, and then we had the Baron Corbin Open Challenge, which was accepted by Bray Wyatt, which was awesome. Bray Wyatt's probably not returning to TV anytime soon, though. But
he might, though. They say he can be a replacement for Braun Strowman.
Yeah,
if Braun's history is a lot more prolonged than they thought.
Yeah, and he beats Baron Corbin with a roll-up, and then Baron Corbin made it a no DQ match, and McIntyre and Ziggler came out, which it was good to see Ziggler, obviously, because he apparently too. I guess there's like an injury bug going on because it feels like once one guy gets injured, like fucking half the roster gets injured. But anyhow, I didn't get to see like beyond when he restarted the match in a no DQ match because the fans' cell phone footage cut out. So then you had Rollins versus Ambrose, which you already broke that match down. Obviously, Rollins was going to win because they're not going to. Yeah, they're not going to change the title.
Not shown.
Yeah, they would have shown if they did a title change. I think they would have shown this match. Probably.
Yeah.
I thought Starrcade was, from what I saw, was a good show. I liked the cage match. I liked.
It's respectful that they didn't show the whole show.
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently, it would have cost more to air the whole show because they have to tape more footage, but it's their own fucking network.
Also, too, like it's not like they have money from Saudi Arabia. Like
I don't know why, but that basically confirms that Bray Wyatt's coming back as a babyface, though.
Yeah, pretty much. Which I'm obviously happy about. hopefully when Bray Wyatt comes back this time, he'll be like booked better because
Yeah.
one good thing about Wyatt.
He was booked fine with Matt Hardy though.
Yeah, but then it kind of fell off a cliff.
Placement at TLC for Baron Corbin for Braun Strowman. Him and Corbin are obviously going to have like a feud.
Yeah,
In
obviously.
the meantime,
I don't know how the match will be though, because Baron Corbin can't wrestle and Bray Wyatt can wrestle, but it's hard to pull out a good match out of like Baron Corbin. Like it's impossible. Yeah. And then we have Raw tonight, where it's going to be apparently Bobby Lashley versus I like too how like on this show they were just randomly announcing matches that were going to happen on Raw, where like half the guys we saw on this show had nothing to do with the guys that were going to be on Raw. Like it was really weird.
Yeah.
That was weird.
WWE just made a big splash in the independent circuit. They just signed Walter.
I don't have no clue who
he's a fucking big motherfucker from Austria. Mentanza Cueto.
Okay.
That's Jeff Cobb.
Probably. I haven't watched Lucha Underground season 2, so I'm probably about to see him. I'm assuming.
He was in. I think he was in season 2.
Yeah.
I think they talk about him a little bit, but that's that Jeff Cobb's his real name, and he just won the championship from Walter recently. I think at PWG.
Yeah.
But, he's a top he's. I haven't seen him. I don't think I've ever really seen. I've seen clips. He's impressive. He's a very impressive wrestler. But I haven't seen matches of him yet.
And obviously, 2 other wrestlers that were signed is what's his name? Punishment Martinez. Which I'm surprised he wasn't seen in the crowd at Takeover.
Punishment, yeah.
And then somebody else was just signed. I can't think of it. I can't think of who it was. But
Shane Strickland recently.
That might be who it is.
But I looked up his contract. His contract's not up for another couple of years. Which is, I don't know if they, because he got into a spat with like, his promotion.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, because someone reported that he had signed.
And also, we know that the Bullet Club being, well, the Elite, anyways, signing. We don't really know what's going on with that because they just started a new promotion. So I'd imagine
we don't know yet.
Yeah, I'd imagine if I'm just gonna go based off what I'm seeing, I'd imagine they're not gonna, because it really wouldn't make any sense to leave when you just started a new promotion. So it's like,
so Shane Strickland is gonna be signing in January.
Yeah,
he should be expect it in January because he's with MLW right now, and they have Strickland announced as on the show for December 13th and the 14th.
Yeah.
After that, he should be on his way.
But I'm gonna guess with the Bullet Club though that plus 2, I feel like if they get signed, it's gonna. I'm very worried how they would be booked because obviously we know like how
you're struggling for star power right now, and you get the most popular and star-powered group in the Indies right now.
Yeah, we have to wait and see. Then you have like who else is I know and obviously we got the news going on with James Ellsworth. That's weird. Just
yeah.
You might have to talk about it because I've been too busy to read too much into it. So you might have to talk about that one.
He's a fucking pervert and a fucking creep.
Apparently,
borderline pedophile. Like he's asking fucking he's like sending dick pics to a 16-year-old girl. Like what the fuck? And it was unsolicited too. She didn't want the picture of his dick.
Yeah.
This is not a consensual thing that was going on.
That's just weird. So
yeah, I'm not gonna get to it. It's a long drawn out process that I'm not gonna get into.
Yeah. I think that's like the biggest wrestling news happening. So, and also, Roman Reigns was seen at a football game.
Yeah,
it looked like he was. Yep. It looks like he was doing well. So, that's cool. Happy to see that he's doing well. So
yeah, I'm very happy to see that.
And obviously, even though we announced it, NXT UK Takeover Blackpool is going to happen, which I'm excited about that show. Obviously, too. I was kind of surprised they did a takeover show this quickly. I thought they would have waited a little while longer because the TV tapings just started like last month. I was surprised they did a takeover so quickly.
Oh yeah, that's very true. I am kind of surprised.
How do I think the show? I think the show could end up being really good with obviously Pete Dunne in there, Mustache Mountain, and obviously the other NXT UK talent. I'm really excited to see how that show turns out. Obviously, too, we'll talk about that more when we do NXT UK coverage within a couple of weeks. That you will watch all those tapings.
Maybe.
No, you will, because then we're wasting people's time.
Maybe.
I'll give you what if I give you 3 weeks?
Maybe.
4 weeks.
Maybe.
10 weeks.
Maybe.
That
Maybe.
sucks. How about 12 weeks?
Maybe.
How about to the beginning of the year?
Maybe.
Oh shit! I guess he ain't watching it, so I don't know what to do there. So, I guess that's the end of the show. Do you have anything you want to plug or promote?
Watch our show.
Yeah, see, this is the only thing he has to plug or promote is the wrestling rundown. He can't. He has nothing else to plug or promote. Nothing.
Else.
Obviously, you can check out this channel, Wrestling Fortune 44. Hopefully, we can go back on that channel in like another month or so. Like,
yeah, hopefully.
That's it. We can never go back. We're stuck here forever.
Maybe.
Imagine too. And also check out our Let's Play that we did in live reactions on James's channel. The Let's Play we did where we did creepy Velveteen Dream entrances.
That's stupid.
I still can't believe that happened, but it happened.
For life.
And then obviously check out Owen the Talkinator for all my non-wrestling videos. So
Check out all his wrestling videos on there.
Check out the what?
Check out all of his wrestling videos on there.
No, there's no wrestling videos on there. Non-wrestling.
It's all wrestling.
Non-wrestling videos.
All wrestling videos.
This show is over.
Leaving.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.